sure I'm good. All right, I'm gonna play the intro.
Minions of the Zoo. In space. Tonight's episode, The Tunnel of Terror.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Minions of the Zoo, Minions in Space, episode 2383, The Tunnel of Terror. And I'm your keeper for tonight, Tier Alexander, and I'm here with Traveling Exhibit, Mitch Nemo. Yo, Mitch.
Oh yeah, howdy doo-doo.
And it's time for us to blast some space out of space.
What the hell is that? Oh, I'm
What?
sorry. I'm in orbit around Earth and people are popping effects and shit.
Okay.
Wondering what the hell they are.
Hopefully Minions Functional will join us later. You know, he's always fashionably late. Did you see the intro?
I did.
Again,
See, I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. Or at least I basically rely on one bit of editing software, so I could probably expand into other versions, other things to use to edit. Oh, there you are.
yeah. I mean, you ain't got. I was just fucking around, and I thought I'd do something cool for the intro.
Oh yeah, well why not? You know, it's fun stuff to do. I just wish I knew how to do it. I see you just docked.
Yeah.
All right, here I go. Oh man.
Come on, be in the same instance. Be in the same instance.
Kind of a bizarre weekend, isn't it?
Yeah. Like today, it has been a bizarre weekend. Nope, I'm in instance 1.
Okay, I'm in number 4. I bet instance 1 is full.
Nope, it's only 10 people. Wait a minute. Yep, full.
Yep, it's full. I'm going to 6.
Hitting the 6 then.
But yeah, I've ultimately wound up
There you are.
ignoring a lot of not really ignoring. I don't know how to explain it.
Just trying to tune everything out.
No, it's just I think I may have successfully lost my taste for politics.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. And I think I'm beginning to think of it in terms of a more broader context.
It has become a bit of a blood sport.
Well, yeah, certainly, especially now.
And the brain hyenas will bray and go fucking nuts.
I mean, look. I liked President Trump's first term. For the most part, there were problems, but
Agreed.
they were not, in general terms, insurmountable.
Agreed.
But it does leave me with a little bit of trepidation, seeing the depth and breadth of corruption, not just in politics, but in general.
In people.
Yeah, everything stinks. Everything smells bad. Okay.
I can completely agree.
There's the from our deep state issue to I mean, that's before you look at just regular corruption, for Christ's sake. You got regular corruption, and then you got deep state level stuff on top of that. We can't trust anyone in government, which is why I make the memes that I make. And it's like it's a
It's an
It's
Ouroboros.
it's ex- if I get into things in particular terms,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to be very taxing on me. But if I can keep myself to a more broad focus,
Mm-hmm.
basically this is tyranny. Point it out, address it, that kind of thing. Then
You,
it's not so bad.
you
But I'm
can
not
have a
gonna
level of
what I'm
detachment.
well, yeah. But what I'm not gonna do is advocate for a particular candidate
Fair enough.
because because of all that corruption. I mean, now we read that Elon Musk is contributing 45 million per month to Donald Trump's campaign. And my thought there is,
What does he want?
yeah, basically because he only cares about free speech as far as it goes with its marketing value. Damn it,
Mm-hmm.
I got a thing in my throat that won't come out.
It's called a frog.
And I think it may be an alligator, but anyway, Elon Musk is in bed with the WEF.
Mm-hmm.
Hires one of their people subgroups for advertising purposes, and then Elon Musk is a globalist in free speech advocates clothing.
Yes.
That's becoming more clear by the day. So yeah, I'll keep calling him out on it. I've called Donald Trump out on his bump stock ban
Mm-hmm.
and the whole Operation Warp Speed thing and all that stuff. The only excuse I grant Donald Trump when it comes to the COVID stuff is that he was there for the very beginning of it, and not a lot of stuff was widely known. However, Donald Trump is not a stupid man. He should know, like I know, like you know, that government has a particular pattern when things happen.
I'm gonna hit random on a task force while we're talking.
What's that?
I'm gonna hit random on a task force while we're talking.
Oh, right on. And and he doesn't always do that. He doesn't always pay attention to that pattern of behavior that's been around for fucking decades.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he still praises police in spite of all the evidence of police corruption. And it makes me think, okay, is he just doing that for politics' sake? Because people on the one hand love heroes, but on the other hand really like to watch them get torn down? Because that's what's happening with the police now. They're in the teardown process. There are no good cops.
I knew a few good cops when they were on the
How
beat,
long
and I know a
how
few good
long ago
cops
was
now.
it? Oh, okay.
There are a few good cops that I work with. I
How
know
how
these
many
guys.
cops how many cops have they arrested?
Well, they're airport police, so I don't know if they arrested any cops.
A large enemy force is on.
Say again?
They're airport police, like they're official police. They are law enforcement agents, but their jurisdiction is strictly at the airport.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Wait, you said airports or Air Force?
Airport.
What?
Airport. I work at a
Okay.
airport.
Okay. So my observation there is that what? Airport cops don't break laws, don't don't illegitimately roust people.
Well, not that I've seen and not that I know. They don't do that. I mean, their jurisdiction is what half a maybe.
Well, yeah, it's by comparison, it's like 30 feet in every direction is their jurisdiction.
Yeah,
Because I
and-
mean, airports they seem big, but they're actually quite small.
Yeah, my airport is technically a Cat X, but it's actually more of a 3. It's not that big by comparison. But again, I've never seen them harass anybody. I've never seen them do any of
Enemy
that.
ships detected. They're on an
And I've known these men for almost 17 years. Well, it will be 17 years in December.
But you don't see what they do minute by minute every day.
No, I don't. I don't see what they do.
And
minute
it
by
would be
minute.
unfair to expect you to.
All I know, these
Yeah.
are some good guys that put their life on the line to keep that airport safe.
Yeah, I just know that the blue line shit is fucking Hydra.
Yeah.
Parts are ready. Scan
You
the
know, and it's like I've just seen and experienced too much. I can't trust such people without they have earned it. And from what I continue to see happening, there is no earning going on.
Fair enough.
And I don't like um, to slather everyone with a label like that.
Or generalize.
Yeah, but at the same time, what the fuck are you people letting your profession get away with?
You know,
You know, good cops are outnumbered.
yes.
If you want to look at it in the strictly rational terms, they're vastly outnumbered. Because the corruption doesn't stop at the street level cop; it goes all the way to the top.
It's a root issue.
Yes. And the fact that there's so much, I think one of the big things get the unions out of the equation, but whatever.
God, unions are
picking up multiple enemy signals.
what's the
on
word I'm
sensors.
looking for?
Get ready.
They are a good thing when they were created, and they're a bad thing now.
Yeah, they've outlived their usefulness generally.
Yes. Or rather, there are some professions that would be better with unions, and there are some professions that are worse because of. Like
I mean,
actors.
Well, unions right now are just a strong arm tactic.
Agreed. Like the last 3 union presidents of my local union, well, the last 2, because we actually had 2, and the third one came in. He seemed to be a good guy, and I've known him for a minute. So, but the last 2 of kind of got cozy in their position, and they started getting a little corrupted. Like the first one, she went down. She had our head boss at her wedding, and when she lost the union position as union president, she became management, like almost overnight.
Yeah.
So yeah. So again,
I forgot what I was going to say. I had a point to make there, and I was going to wait till you finish, but I think I waited too long because my brain has lost its ability to think.
Understandable. All right.
But yeah, yeah. You said you had a question that we could fool
all
around with here.
Okay, so y'all said the last Monday we talked about transporting scientists and doctors, or engineers and doctors. All right, how about this one? If you could change the genre of a Star Trek, if you could have a Star Trek pilot TV show or a series, and you could add a genre to it, what would you add to it?
Add a genre to it?
Yeah, like, so instead of being, what?
I was just gonna say they're largely all represented genre-wise, but
No, like a stricter, like instead of it being just a space opera, you can add, like, I was thinking for mine, I would add a police procedural, like where it's a Federation security or one of the.
oh, okay.
Sort of like think Law and Order, where it's them just investigating like crimes of the Federation.
Law and Order STD.
Yeah, just some to that effect. Yes.
I know it's a terrible joke, but
hell, how about
that's an interesting.
But
I'm trying to work it out. I've got a couple of different ideas. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it.
I wouldn't have mind if, remember the original premise of the song was he was with Internal Affairs. I wouldn't mind an episode about internal affairs where they are trying to root out Federation corruption. Where they're going around and, hey, your guy had too many instances of X, Y, and Z. So we like to bring him in for questioning about, what he knows. Or maybe, shit, how about having a series where the main antagonist is the Orion Syndicate and them trying to bring it down?
See, one of the things I'm thinking of is, can we can we have a Star Trek show that isn't exclusively focused on Starfleet?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of a show that's more like a courtroom drama, where the stories are told in that way. But you can't have it always be a courtroom drama surrounding Starfleet. I would like to have a way to take a better look at the day-to-day life of members of the Federation that are just Federation citizens.
Do you? It's an old British show named Carl Rumpel where he was a magistrate. He was a essentially a prosecutor, if I'm not mistaken. Something to that effect is what I'm thinking. Where he investigates crime. So like Columbo, where he's the lawyer, or Matlock is a better one. Matlock, where he's trying to investigate crimes and get his client off if they're innocent, or prosecuted if they're guilty.
Yeah, I mean,
satellite upgrades are now available.
I'm gonna have to get this whole thing out somehow. It's in my head, but it's just not all that organized yet.
Okay.
If we have a show that's similar to Law and Order,
Mm-hmm.
what we then have the ability to do is to look at the Federation's judicial system,
Okay.
and not exclusively as it pertains to Starfleet.
Okay.
Because if we do it exclusive to Starfleet, then we're actually missing an opportunity. But there will be Starfleet officers, because they're pretty much everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll also get to see different aspects of Starfleet as well.
Okay.
I mean, we'll get to see, more of the enlisted type Starfleet. I don't mean like Chief O'Brien. I mean more enlisted than that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like the guy who is a Mako, and not necessarily on the command track.
Yeah. Right, and we get a better idea of what their job entails, and we can extend that out to, sometimes we'd have, in the case of a Starfleet officer who's a suspect,
Mm-hmm.
we'd probably have a Starfleet legal expert to come in
Hang on up there.
and represent that officer.
Yeah.
Or that Starfleet, anyone who's Starfleet personnel. And we could get running stories with that that Starfleet officer who's representing Starfleet personnel in this district.
Okay.
But then we get other interesting things like regular murder mysteries,
Mm-hmm.
where what we'd be following is a Federation Office of Investigation
All right.
of sort. Not quite an FBI, not quite police as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be different, and it would probably be a great way to point out the flaws and whatnot in modern policing. Because
Okay.
we could have episodes where we run into we find out some of our investigators are behaving in a corrupt manner,
Or taking
and we're like
broadcasts.
and we're like, okay, we're gonna have to outsource an investigator for this case because of this reason, or just simply our office can't. We need an independent investigator because our office is too close to the matter at hand.
Okay.
It would be a conflict of interest. And it would give us a great opportunity to see day-to-day Federation life for the regular citizen and the regular interactions between Starfleet personnel and the regular citizens.
Okay.
And as far as where I would place this this show, I think I would place it in a metropolitan area. No, I would have it. Let's see, where's a good city
Shit.
in
Why
the
not have
United
it?
States?
Why not have it in San Francisco now? Is the
No,
home-
because that is Starfleet headquarters. and I don't want to do it in Paris because that's the capital. That's where what do you call it?
Federation is.
That's where the Federation capital, the Federation president has his offices and stuff like that. I want it to be further removed.
Well, why set it on Earth? Why not set it on one of the other outlying colonies?
The reason I would set it on Earth is because we are. It's
Okay.
like it or not, Star Trek is an Earth and human-centric show.
True.
We have, it's part of the whole point is to see some of the ways in which we evolve as a species and as a society, and also see some of the pitfalls we might encounter along the way.
Okay. Why not set? If you're not, why not set in Baton Rouge?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Somewhere where we don't see a lot of movies and whatnot set.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could have them take over the old WKRP offices in Cincinnati
Yeah.
or something, you know.
Well, I would assume it wouldn't be that way anyway, because honestly, think about it. You can go from Maine to Portland in like seconds. You
Right,
know?
and that's what I mean. That's why it would be more interesting, because you don't have to. You wouldn't have to have offices in every state, for example. They could be more regional.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes our office overlaps with another office, and we have to work with that office, because that's going to drive some conflict.
Shit, why not have it that it's the office itself is based on Earth, but they handle like sector X, Y, and Z because that's where they're from.
Well, yeah, some of that will come into play too, so we can still get out into space.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's going to be issues of solving a dispute between different freight companies or things of that nature.
Yeah.
And like I said, it gives us, because it's it's an investigative and courtroom drama kind of show.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Kylie.
I would have it be more of a courtroom thing, so that when we get like testimony, that's shown in flashback, but we also get computer records.
Yeah.
And the stories can be explored that way.
How you can have?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't Law and Order where they investigate first half of the show and then do the courtroom stuff. I would just have the whole thing be a courtroom thing.
I got one better for you. I'll add to that. Why not have it that it's a
At least for now.
they do recreations using the hologram
Computer models.
Yeah, or holodeck.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this based on the information we have, what is the most likely events of this situation? And it shows the hologram where it's attacking this one, but that's impossible. It couldn't have been from that angle. Computer
You know what we
adjust
get?
for this.
Oh God, this is awesome. You know what we get?
What?
During testimony, when our people are making their case,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to be one of the differences. It's not going to be defendant or prosecution and defense as much as it is going to be searching for the facts,
Okay.
so that we can figure out what really happened. It's not going to be and this will be one of the corruption things, because police right now investigate to get a conviction.
Mm-hmm.
In our version, anyone investigating simply to secure a conviction is a criminal, because
Okay.
they're not looking for the truth.
Yes.
They're looking to bolster their record. So we're going to have aspects like that to the show. Also, forensic holodeck.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's really your idea. I just gave it the name.
Mm-hmm.
But a forensic holodeck where it's integrated in the courtroom. We don't have to pick up and go to some other fucking building or anything. It's there we go. It's integrated. The courtroom is equipped with hollow projectors.
Mm-hmm.
So that our truth seekers can go out, before between the defense and prosecution tables and the judge's bench,
Hold
fire
on.
up the hologram and,
Wait a
and
minute.
say, okay, this is how, based on this information, this is the only place this shot could have come from, yada, yada, yada. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah, hold on really second. Mitch,
Yeah.
James Colley says NCIS Star Trek.
In a way, it's almost like, it's not really like NCIS or CSI because this is all taking place in the courtroom. This is after the investigation. And
Hitting the number random.
everything we watch, for the most part, we're going to have off-the-wall episodes where it's like an episode that centers around investigator Torek or something.
Or, you know,
we
he's
get to follow,
investigating a
and we get to
Ferengi.
follow Torek through the investigation and up through the hearing. But for the most part, the audience is only getting information from the facts presented at trial or at the hearing. It's not always going to be a criminal trial. Sometimes it's something else.
A trade dispute.
What's that?
Maybe a trade dispute in contract negotiation, some to that effect.
Right, because sometimes you got to go out and investigate. Okay, Vulcan and Andoria are having a trade dispute. Let's go investigate why and see if, and let's be the neutral third party that comes to investigate the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And delivers a recommendation. Sometimes that's the nature of the investigation. We're basically a Federation Office of Investigations.
Okay.
And the investigations are not always criminal. They can be investigations about anything, and that opens up all the story possibilities we want to tell. It's not always Starfleet. Sometimes it's two business entities in the Federation. And again, we get to see what kind of life is led by Federation citizens, not just people in Starfleet.
Hell, you could visit visit iconic locations. Like, hey, at some point we had to go to Andoria to talk to a witness.
Oh no. Yeah. Shut up. There we go.
Yeah.
At least he shut up.
But you had to do those types of investigation. Lord James Colley again. Law and Order Federation disputed.
No, we covered that. It wouldn't be quite like Law and Order. It would be similar. But it would.
They're not police.
Like I said, the details of the investigation are revealed at the hearing, and for the most part, that's how the audience gets to see what's happening. It's through testimony and holodeck recreation and all that good stuff. And I think it's a fun way to do the thing.
Yeah, it would, like you said, it would give us a chance to see what Federation life is like outside the context of Starfleet in the military.
Sweep this room
Right.
quickly and you'll catch the Borg off guard.
You
Seize
know.
the advantage.
They're gonna wake up or something? Like, what the hell are we doing this one?
Yeah, they are. If you see a glowing spot on the floor, do not step in it. You'll get plasma killed.
Okay.
The Borg are reacting. They are awakening reinforcements.
Alright, because honestly, you have to imagine that there are,
Have to what?
that Federation life still exists where they have to, go to movies or hologram program, something. Like, all their life can't be all goddamn... Alright, so in the shows, all you see is the starship. You never see daily life, in a sense.
Yeah, you never see the day-to-day life of a citizen in the Federation. All we see is what happens on a starship. And that's why a lot of people think that the Federation is a socialist state, when it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're basing that on what they see in a military body on a day-to-day basis, not regular day-to-day life on a citizen basis.
Mm-hmm.
The context is vastly different.
I would assume like most citizens still have jobs and whatnot, or tasks they have to do.
Well, yeah, like Joseph Sisko ran his restaurant.
Yeah, it's not like he needed to do it. He just loved doing it.
Right.
I mean, I guess on Earth it would be a little different. Like, yeah, it would be paradise where we don't work because we gotta. We just work because we're bored.
Gather there
Yeah.
for a mission update.
Oh Lord.
We are detecting an energy buildup in the
I
area.
really hate it when the fucking,
Cuts in.
not cutscene, but pop-up character won't shut up and let me just do the job.
Yeah. Just shut up and let me kill shit.
Recalibrate my space phaser.
So you can punch the Borg in the face.
Let's switch to my pistol.
We are detecting an
Carbonite Files from Beyond. James Colley says, "I know how to kill the series. Follow the space monkey, space sea monkey around." Again, it would be it's a lot better than what they've done with the series of late.
Oh, what isn't?
You know,
And that's the other thing. You might have
Borg are reacting to the virus upload. Reinforcements inbound.
Lord. You know, you would have those types of things. You would have, and it would give you a chance to explore like some of the not the history, but the day-to-day stuff outside of like I said, the military context. Did you leave, Mitch? Did my thing do that again? Yes, it did. Hold on. Give me now, Mitch.
Discord.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean, I could hear you before.
and I couldn't hear you.
Right.
God damn it! But
Stupid machines.
I was saying, you could do, you could have like you could explore like some of the heroes of the Federation outside of the context of Starfleet.
Well, yeah, we could get. I mean, yeah, we see a little bit of it, like when Picard takes his cute little vacation on Risa and fucks another archaeologist.
Yeah.
You know, we see cute stuff like that, but we could see people at home.
Yes. You know, the world. They're not on a ship. The world's not burning around them, and they don't need to reach for their phaser.
Right.
Oh, you can even have a seedy underbelly. Again, I would always have that I would have that there is an Orion presence on Earth.
Yeah. I mean,
Chaos. The Borg time has come. Attack the Queen.
man, just some of the fun stuff we could cover with a show like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even I would like it to be a streaming show just because I want to get around some of the censor shit. I have an issue with entertainment where on network television they want everything to be family friendly. Well, you know what? Not everything is.
James Colley says, "Ooh, everyday cooking with replicators."
Yeah, pretty much.
God damn it.
Damn it. Let's launch this thing. There we go. But what was I talking about? Oh, I have a concept called adult entertainment, and it's not pornography. It's where we take an honest look at real issues.
Okay.
But you know, it's in the context of the universe of the show that we're watching. Like
Okay.
in this Star Trek show we're talking about, there's probably still going to be creeps and thugs and murderers and rapists and
Yes.
child molesters, and I want to be able to cover that stuff in a serious way, without having to rely on
Innuendo and
well, not innuendo, but euphemisms.
yeah.
I want to be able to talk about those things in the context of entertainment and not have it watered down by a bunch of pansy ass censors who are afraid of triggering everybody all the time. Fuck that noise. You know, I would also include profanity, but not the way Discovery did, because the way Discovery did, actually the way Kurtzman Trek did, not Discovery specifically, but they're implicated.
Yes.
The way Kurtzman Trek did it, they did it just for the shock value. And I wouldn't do it that way. You know, let's say you take a phaser blast to the foot by accident. It's not unreasonable to yell, "Oh fuck."
I wouldn't even have them use modern Earth slang, profanity. Again, it should be a blending of cultures where you get someone that's going patak.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be exclusively anything.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
know what I mean.
Oh well.
You know, the Andorians may say Papa Louie instead of fuck, but you know, and you know that could be used to great comic effect. If a human is in a regular situation yells, "Oh, Papa Louie,"
And someone goes language.
yeah. You know, some of that stuff can work, but God damn it, shoot. Target a
James
motherfucker,
Colley
motherfucker.
again. What we really need is the Star Trek Q files, and we have John Delancey reprise his role as Q.
Oh, that's another thing I would do. No fucking cameos. No, we're done. We're done with that shit. Why? Should be obvious.
Yes.
Because if you're using a cameo, it means you already lost faith in your product.
You're relying on the member berries.
Yeah. And that means you lost faith in your product.
Not to say
That's why Star Trek Discovery had to rely on Spock and Sarek. And Amanda Grayson and all those other characters. Because they had no faith in their product. They knew how much shit it really was.
Well, here's saying you can't use I'm not saying John Delancey specifically, but Q is an entity that could be damn near anybody. It's not necessarily the same Q in either way.
Yeah, but it would be too reliant on the concept.
Okay.
But you know, and especially in a show like the one we're talking about, where it's essentially a courtroom drama. What are we gonna subpoena Q?
Sure.
Fuck that. Fuck that stupid shit, you know? I get angry.
I still would have I would still have I want to, if this did happen, I would love to see, we had to deal with the Ferengi. Well,
Oh god, the Ferengi in this show, the Ferengi would probably be some of the best attorneys.
Yeah, they would.
I mean, could you imagine that? Like, oh shit, they got a Ferengi attorney out. Fuck, here we go. We're dead. You know.
Crap! It's Quark's cousin, Quack. Yeah.
That I might want to have a Ferengi on the team. It's part of the regular cast. That might be fun.
That would work. They are known for getting shit done, and the great material continuum does provide.
Yep. But it wouldn't be Rom. It wouldn't be Quark.
No.
It would be somebody new. Why? Because we're not going to rely on a bunch of garbage. And I'm not saying they're garbage, but out of their own context, they just don't work the same. We're not going to rely on cute referencing to make the show a success. We're going to have good writing, and we're going to have resources available. Former lawyers, former judges, people with experience in the day-to-day workings of the field we're talking about as consultants on the show.
Yes.
Not just some fucking, oh, my dad held a camera once in front of a James Cameron movie, let me write your show. None of that shit. No incest and no fucking nepotism.
Agreed.
Listen up. The war has not been going well for the Federation, and the Klingons are advancing to our position.
I think that would be a really fun show. It would be a creative way to do Star Trek. We'd still get exploration stories, because every investigation is an exploration of a sort in the first place. But at the same time, when our group is contracted by Starfleet on occasion to look into an issue, we're still going to get Starfleet.
Maybe we'd
And-
have to do an investigation on the starship itself.
What's that?
You know, maybe someone on the Haddonfield did something, and we're contracted to investigate that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe there's a reason Starfleet Intelligence or one of the other support services in Starfleet can't be the investigative arm in this case for some reason. Maybe it has to do with the treaty between, the Federation and the Amagamagans,
Yeah.
the Manamanas.
Phenomena.
And again, we still get aliens, we still get space exploration, we still get space battles, even. Because sometimes the investigation is going to revolve around the right and wrong of a
An engagement.
conflict in outer space. Yeah.
Like, who was in the right in this situation? Like, who fired first? Who was in the right?
Right. In fact, our office could be part of an amended Federation charter. Maybe not Federation charter, but an amended Starfleet charter, wherein Starfleet cannot investigate itself. That's where our office comes in.
Okay.
And that would be awesome. And we'd have our opening episode. We get this is our new office because of this new amended Starfleet charter. So we have to
Maintain a
put
presence on Earth at least.
together our team. And we got to put together a team that's going to be what do you call, impartial.
Hell, you can even have that there. I would assume on the team you would have like someone who's ex Starfleet who served, who can tell you the intricacies of like
Well, yeah, we can have an ex Starfleet who is honorably discharged and an ex Starfleet who is dishonorably discharged.
Yes.
Because now we got drama.
Yeah.
We got conflict between those two characters, and that's gonna be something that's gonna play out really well. Then we get the 25th or 26th, whenever this show takes place. We get the 25th century equivalent of the civil rights auditor.
Yeah.
As a member of the team as well.
A no nonsense Vulcan.
Yeah. We have our Ferengi, who's
We have the business stuff.
basically a whiz at looking at the ins and outs of contracts and things of that nature. And not everyone is going to be utilized on every case.
Yes.
Because we're dealing with a team of specialists, and if the case doesn't involve that particular specialty, well, fine, they can handle some of the more mundane aspects of the case, like depositions and things of that nature.
Note taking.
Right.
Or
so
hell,
they
they
wouldn't
could do,
necessarily be witnesses at the hearing or the trial.
Hell, they could handle like when they're not needed. They could like handle like doing the reconstruction of the hologram reconstruction. Based
Right.
on what we know, this is what based off the what was told to us and what we found. This is what we can assume with some degree of actually happened. But it makes no sense because that's not where the shot came from.
And this will be even better. We can one of the things we make clear with the guiding philosophy of this this new type of independent investigative agency is that, because like I said earlier, the way it is now, you get a good record if you secure convictions, right? Doesn't matter if the conviction is legitimate. It's a plus if you secure a conviction. In our version, you get a plus when you maintain integrity.
Yes.
and make that one of the guiding principles here.
Our shields are
And
taking hit, and we could use an escort.
and it's doing what science fiction should do. It holds up a mirror to our real society,
Ship is rotting.
but holds it at a slight
The
angle.
Klingons are regrouping again. Get
James
to
Clyde
position
says,
to
I
prepare for the
finished the
next
Oval
assault."
first season. I like how they did a lot of their episodes, and it sounds like the Untouchables in space.
Oh, maybe.
Here come the
I mean, but
Klingons.
it's not necessarily going after like the Orion Syndicate, head guy. It's not like you're trying to get him for Federation tax evasion.
Right.
You know?
Oh, now imagine this, though. Imagine this show goes on for a couple years, right?
Okay.
And our this is going to be one of the ways the show can escalate in different ways. So we start off with just an investigation arm because what was my reason?
Amazing Charges.
Starfleet can no longer investigate itself. Is where it starts. But we start getting our characters and our little firm here, whatever we want to call it. They start developing a reputation, so they're called in to investigate other things, and then they get a good reputation, even bigger, more good. I forgive my use of language there. But then they start getting pulled into diplomatic negotiations as well.
Because they got ties and can.
Yeah, because the integrity that they display is paying off, and everyone's trusting them. This leads us to a couple of different possibilities. One, it sets us up for a fall, which has to happen.
Okay.
Because then we got to look at ourselves and maintain our integrity. And we even have to call someone outside of ourselves in order to do that. Maybe a rival investigative team or something. And so there's that aspect we can explore. Then there's the aspect of there's the angle of we can get more characters to be if not regulars, then recurring, to handle diplomatic things, to handle business negotiations and things of that nature. This is a show all about different opportunities. That's especially one way, especially that it would appeal to a Ferengi. Because this is a show about opportunities.
Hell, you know what? I wouldn't mind.
Roosevelt is in the
Maybe they're trying to deal with a business contract on Ferenginar itself. Like the original contract holder is on Ferenginar. They have to deal with Ferenginar politics.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know how much longer.
Like under the Ferengi X, Y, and Z, this is perfectly legal. But you're dealing with.
I want to. Go on.
I said under Ferengi politics, legal system, this is perfectly legal. Well, but you're not dealing just with the Ferenginar. This is just dealing with Federation law.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into account.
Well, not just Federation law, but in the cases where it deals with the Federation and another power, we have to look at their laws, and then we have to look at the treaty as well between the Federation and that other power, and it all gets really interesting and complicated.
Yep.
And I really want to watch this Star Trek courtroom drama now. Damn it.
Sorry.
And I just think it's a far better idea than
What's being currently
certainly better than anything we've gotten in the last 10, 15 years.
And I would keep to your principle. We don't go back, we go forward.
Right. Well, that's just it. Star Trek has failed to learn from its past mistakes. And one of the first things I think we do when developing a new show is learn from the past mistakes. Learn the right lessons even. Don't try to recontextualize everything that worked because you want to have a piece of shit Mary Sue character. Because that doesn't work. You know, I asked those questions on the Star Trek Online forum, and I've been getting some discussion out of it. But rarely does anyone actually answer the questions that I ask. And I find that kind of interesting too. It's like everyone's afraid to. One group just doesn't want to get into a fight over Discovery anymore, and I can understand that.
Uh-huh.
Another group is afraid to admit that they like Discovery. And another group is afraid to enter a discussion where they think they're going to get affected by the moderators.
This has always been my thing about anything. If you like it, good. I'm not stopping you from liking it. I'm not saying you're evil for liking it. There's some really shitty shit that I like. If you ask Angela, me liking Vampire's Kiss is terrible because it's a horrible movie to her. Okay, it's not her cup of tea.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it just wasn't my cup of tea, and I don't knock anybody for liking it.
Star Trek Discovery is not my cup of tea, but someone will get pissed off at me because I'm able to articulate why.
Yes. And I don't think that should be a crime. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. No one's forcing you to watch, making me watch it, and I'm not forcing you not to watch it.
I mean, I can tell you the exact moment I knew it was going to be a piece of shit.
When?
It's when they revealed the design of the ship.
Yes. That's
because that is a Ralph McQuarrie design from the 70s that the fucking 70s turned down. Just imagine that. How ugly does something have to be for the 70s to go, no, we won't go with that?
The design of the ship makes no goddamn sense.
And later I come to learn that the Klingons' uniforms and whatnot were also designed in the 70s.
And
yeah, they look like shit.
What the hell?
And the reason that was a clue to me is not because everything looked like shit. It's because it demonstrated to me that they were not willing to spend money in the right areas in the development of the show. They wanted to use those old designs because they were already bought and paid for. Yeah, they'd shell out a little more money for the modification of those designs, but the major design work was already done.
Okay.
So that's a way they were cheaping out. And what did we get instead? We get a universe where there is no deep dark black of outer space. Yes. We get a universe where everything is a visual effect.
Okay.
James
Colley again. Hold on, James Colley again. Kevin Sorbo made a great Starship captain.
In many ways, he did.
Dylan was a good captain.
I mean, and look, Kevin Sorbo, I've said this before, he's not the world's greatest actor.
He ain't the worst.
By any stretch. No, he's not the worst either. But what he does, oh my God.
What?
I haven't played this in ages.
I need this one for my endeavor.
Yeah, so do I, but anyhow, let's see. Why isn't it letting me shoot anything? There, thank you. I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going.
I have no clue. It said something about give Jordy time to set up the shields. I guess we gotta get up to the 3rd floor, I guess.
They powered up another transporter. Watch out for more troops. The computer core has taken heavy damage.
I'm assuming this is the computer core?
I don't know. I'm just shooting the fuckers.
It's on the 1st floor.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, is at the 1st floor now.
The computer core has been destroyed.
I'm underwater. I don't know how to... God damn it. So much for the YOLO principle. How do I...
Well, again, this is just another in a long list of badly designed missions.
Yes.
They have a lock on all 3 facilities. They're direct aiming now.
God damn it. Maybe it would have been nice to teleport us where we could be.
One would think.
And what the hell are these species?
That's a Kefki.
It is?
Yep.
Okay.
Power generator has taken heavy damage.
I'm on floor 2 trying to clean some shit up.
The orbital defense controls have taken heavy damage.
Alright,
Your
okay.
mother's taking heavy damage. I'm going up to the 3rd floor.
That's where I am.
The colony shield is coming online and now.
Okay. Help Jordy set up the inhibitors.
Where?
I don't know. Probably next stage of the mission, I guess.
I suppose.
They have mortars and shields. Smash through them to reach the inhibitor. Make your way to the first transport inhibitor.
I don't know what that is, but it has an exclamation mark beside it. Maybe it's nothing. But yeah, I think, you know, adding a different genre or making it that would be interesting and fun.
Well, the problem. One of the problems with Star Trek is they keep doing the same thing.
Yes.
That's why DS9 worked as well as it did, is because they took a step outside of the standard thing.
They took it off a starship and put it on a starbase. And it was mainly, it was one centralized location that you had reoccurring the same threats over and over again.
Right.
You know?
And you know the reason we won't get that kind of stuff like we're talking about is because a bunch of the idiots in Hollywood think that you have to, god damn it,
you have to do what you have. You can't be inventive, and the formula has to be the same. You have to milk that cash cow till it's dry and it's dead.
well they assume everything is a kid's show,
Okay.
and therefore you have
Now online.
to have toys to sell or whatever.
Merch.
You know, merch, basically, yeah. And the failing in that is Star Trek can be so much more.
Transport inhibitor 5 is online.
And if you have to rely on merchandising to be a successful show, you're doing the show wrong.
Well done. Atmospheric scattering and a port.
It means you failed at creating your show
Okay.
and producing your show. I don't know if I'm going the right way. I'm just following this person.
They seem to know what they're doing. I mean, again, I just like the shows that talk down to the audience.
Say again?
I just like shows that talk down to the audience, that beat you over your head with the message.
Oh, yeah.
Like, STD could have been a good show if it wasn't
One of the inhibitors was destroyed.
the DEI hire of Star Trek, where
Yeah.
she's supposed to be a military officer, and they're supposed to be on a military ship. and she's supposed to be the first officer, and she's showing disrespect to her captain.
Yep.
You know, where Strange New Worlds, where like the captain is the only one, you know, is the one in charge, but everyone else is making decisions.
Heads up.
Yeah, I mean, on what kills me about Strange New Worlds is Captain Pike is the only man on that bridge.
Yes.
And yes, I'm including Spock.
Mikey Spock.
No, it's not Mikey Spock. It's knockoff Spock.
Knockoff Spock. Okay, that worked too. You know, and then Picard is you take a legacy character like Picard, and you turn him into this old doddering old man.
Well, they didn't turn him into that. He just is that now. I mean, because Patrick Stewart is 604 years old. Picard season 1 immediately was the adventures of Sleepy Space Grandpa.
And it shouldn't have been that.
No, there are other ways they could have done it, and they just refuse to do it because they think they need to make him an action star.
Shit, you could again. We were having this conversation about Beverly Hills Cop X or F, right? And we were saying that Eddie Murphy is too old to be an action star. He's just too old, and it should be him in a mentor role.
Yeah, and it kind of was.
And that's what it should have been for Picard. It should have been Admiral Picard on the ship. You know, he can no longer beam down and deal with it. Hell, you could have kept him as the diplomat, where he's still one of the chief Federation diplomats. And it's him training up, you know, someone that is going to be his replacement. He's looking for a successor, in a sense. You know? Hell, and that could have been the show. Him like seeing what they're made of in different diplomatic situations. You know?
But what would have been better is if you ever watch Red Letter Media.
No, I haven't.
They put together a concept for a Star Trek The Next Generation reunion show, for lack of a better word, that was vastly superior to anything that I hate this fucking game. This part of the mission is absolutely this TFO is really bad at telling you what to do and at pointing out objectives.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like a tower defense game. The TFO, where you're just fighting waves and waves of Zincathi. And it did it again. Hold on, Mitch.
All right.
Oh, no, it didn't. I didn't hear you.
Okay. God damn it.
James Colley says, I want to hear some good old racial slurs in Star Trek.
Well, the assault force up here, the colonies.
God, I hate that mission.
Thank God I'm done.
That's one of the ones I always skip when it comes up to the Endeavor thing. Now you know why.
Yes.
Stop yawning. There we go.
Yeah, but you could have hell, you could bring in Worf. Worf is still the ambassador to the Klingon Federation, Klingon Empire, and he calls up Captain Picard like, "Hey, I got a situation. I'm gonna need some help."
Oh, that reminds me. What I was saying before I got distracted by something.
Mm-hmm.
Red Letter Media put together a Star Trek: The Next Generation reunion sort of series called Star Trek Galaxy.
Okay.
And it ties into the Galaxy class ship. They actually go look for the starship Galaxy, the first Galaxy class starship that has been lost, and it's starting to show up. And it's Picard, because he's kind of the expert on on that class,
Welcome to Pariah
along
3.
with
I'm
Geordi.
Lieutenant John Vanderveer, and I'll be your demolitions
Damn, I
expert
hate
on
these
this
fucking
trip.
voiceovers. Along with Geordi and some of the other characters from TNG, and with some new characters as well. And you get a show where, you know, it's not the Enterprise, but it's still the Galaxy class starship, so you get that kind of nostalgia thing. And they get out to where the ship is randomly reappearing and board the ship, and then shit goes weird, and they're stuck on the ship and have to figure out a way to get a functioning warp drive working, because the warp drive they've got is essentially out of juice.
Okay.
It's burnt out or something, so they have to, if they can't repair it, they have to figure out a way to replace it.
Okay.
And you know, it sounded like it would have made for a really fun concept for a show. And they even recommended bringing Geordi's kids.
Okay.
As part of the newer cast, who's, you know, not as experienced. And I believe that's where Terry Matalas copied the idea from for Star Trek Picard season 3.
Okay.
Because they did many of the things, but they also went stupid and like, oh, we got to have the changelings. Oh, we got to have the Borg.
Again, he should. All right, the Borg are such a weak enemy now.
Yeah.
Like
really
whatever sting or fear they had in the Borg, it's gone. Like.
Yeah, it's completely gone now. That the Borg don't matter.
Yes, they defanged the Borg, essentially, because if
basically, yeah.
You know, again,
they're
good.
They're either defanged or Starfleet has just become smart enough to figure out how to beat the adaptation every time. Yeah. So what's the point of having the Borg? They're no longer scary. They're not even interesting.
Yes, I mean. And even then, it's been established you can reason with them. You know, Janeway took the. All right, well, if you agree not to bother us, we agree not to interfere with your fucking. You stay on your side of the galaxy, and we'll stay on ours.
Fire in the hole.
You know, what you do on your side of the universe is what you do on your side of the universe. You know, don't bother us, don't attack us, and we won't attack you. All right,
honestly,
okay.
I think right now the best thing to do with the Borg is to wipe them out.
I would have loved. All right, so have you ever heard of in Warhammer there's a species called the Tyranids. They are a ravenous race of just all they want to do is feed, and your lunch. You can't reason with a Tyranid. You can't, think for a Tyranid. They're a hive mind that only care about their hunger and feeding that hunger. And that would be a new scary villain. Because, again, you can't reason with these things.
Right.
They show up, it's kill or be killed. Kill or be eaten.
Yes.
No one comes back from going into their nest if they take you, and it's going to be a fucking slog to get them back.
Fire in the hole.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, it creates this monster that the Federation and every other race have to deal with again, like the Borg were.
Right.
And it's not even that you have to worry about adaptation. It's just the sheer number of them. They're insects, so they breed like fucking. Yeah. One hive can have like 1 trillion eggs in it. Something dumb. And it would
yeah, they reproduce like tribbles.
Yeah, they reproduce like tribbles. And now and if you have an infestation,
thou art fucked.
Yeah, it would give you a monster to be afraid of. It would give Star Trek, Federation, a boogeyman again. You know, something to keep people up at night.
See, that's where we could have gotten really great use out of the tribbles, actually, because they're cute, they're fluffy,
But they're a
and
plague.
they don't do any harm to you themselves. But yes, they're a fucking plague. And if they had played that up properly,
According to our
instead of
scans, there's a tunnel
just
under
keeping
us.
them as a
Give me
fucking
moment,
joke,
I'll clear a path.
Or pet.
we could have had some real
Fire in the
interesting
hole!
shit going down.
Shit, the fucking clowns knew what they were about. They eat everything in sight and they don't stop reproducing.
Right. And that would have been another great instance of going, hey, you know what? The Klingons are right.
Yeah. We
Well,
thought
we
we
can't
could
wipe
control
them out. It wouldn't be nice. That's the Federation line. We can't wipe them out. It wouldn't be nice. That's one of the reasons I fucking don't give two shits about the Federation.
You know, we gotta help them. You know, when they take over a ship where they eat everything in sight, and once the food is gone, they start eating other organic beings,
Cover me.
like people.
Yeah, the tribbles are fine when they're just like eating grains and whatnot. But what are you going to do when that food supply runs out and we learn that they will keep eating anyway? That they can adapt in that way to eat and draw nourishment from anything.
Shit, imagine them eating the side of a hull of a ship. Because it doesn't seem like they are affected. I don't know if they are affected by the vacuum of space. I'm
Tribbles?
Yeah.
Probably. But now think about this. Let's think about the tribbles a bit.
Okay.
In addition to them being able to eat anything, we never hear about tribble shit, do we? You know why?
Because they eat that.
Because their digestive system is 100% efficient.
Ooh, there is no waste.
Yeah. And everything being geared toward reproduction makes them... And reproduction and the ability to adapt to any nutrition makes them really fucking scary.
Oh, man. A whole food supply is wiped out in seconds.
Well, basically, if you get them in mass. And when you get them in mass, they're fucking...
This is it.
Well,
The
that's
center
it.
of the
It's a
hive,
massive
where we'll
threat.
find the
God damn.
All right, where is this? I guess I gotta jump down again.
There we go.
There we are.
It fucking glitched. Somehow. But yeah, if we didn't treat the tribbles like a fucking joke and recognize them for the potential monster that they are, we could have had a whole lot of fucking fun. And still keep them cute and fluffy. Because that's part of the conflict, is you don't want to kill something cute and fluffy with a cute little purr about it. You don't want to kill that thing. You want to kill the thing like what we're shooting now with the you know
The hideous maw.
hard shell for a skin and claws and arg arg arg. Yeah, that's what you want to kill.
Hell, you know what would have been an interesting concept? Have it that them being cute and fluffy is just a defense mechanism
Yeah,
for protection. Like you said, you don't want to kill something cute and fluffy. You don't want to kill something that looks, you know...
right. It just like in what do you call it? Help me out. What was that movie? Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cute and fluffy now, but pretty soon they're going to get ugly.
Yes. But the tribbles don't get ugly. That's their shit. Like, oh...
Right. Right. They don't get ugly, but they do adapt in a way that they can eat flesh.
That's gonna have to.
Hell,
And, you
just...
know, maybe it's not biting out big old chunks of you, but it ain't gonna feel good, is it?
Nope.
And especially when
It's
you
a
realize
swarm of
that the first tribble going, or the first time a tribble sounds like a pigeon, you know, it's saying, hey, food source, everyone over here.
Yeah. And imagine, remember Kirk gets hit, all the tribbles fall on Kirk? Just imagine if they had decided to eat him, and now, and once he gets up from that wave, his hand is gone.
Yeah.
because they can.
Now think
eat
about
rapidly.
this too. While the tribbles may be almost omni-adaptable for feeding, I would keep it to the eating what do you call animal and vegetable, but not mineral.
So they eat organic and not.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. They eat organics.
So they're
They can
omnivores.
they can eat any kind of organic. No, they're not omnivores.
Well,
They
they are.
they go for like one kind of thing and then they adapt as they need to.
So in a sense, they're omnivores. Like again, they start off as herbivores.
Yes, they are omnivores, but that's not how they feed.
All right. Okay.
If they're currently adapted toward a more vegetarian type diet, that's all they'll eat. And they'll eat it until it's gone, and when it's gone, they will start to adapt.
Hell, you can even have this one. What up, Rodden? You can have this
Hey, Rodden.
as a quirk. That like the first one that eats, if it's something toxic, it will pass on the genetic information needed to adapt to that that toxic, and it can just keep the route that it will get sick, but its children won't.
It's a great horror story actually, because
Cute and fluffy, and eats everything.
Spaceship beams down, and to what should be a thriving colony, but it's not, because
the fucking desert.
All that's left behind is equipment and buildings. There's no trace of any biological animal life form left.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing, and weirdly, all the vegetation's gone too. What the hell happened here? This was supposed to be a thriving agrarian colony, but all the buildings and the hand phasers and tricorders and computers, all that stuff's left over.
Mm-hmm.
It still functions. Everything works fine, but the phasers are mostly drained.
Okay.
And there's no biological substance anywhere. It's almost like the crystalline entity attacked.
I got one better. I got another one that they can go into a hibernation effect.
So
when
it starts off as a mystery, and then you start hearing them coo.
Mm-hmm.
And shit's about to get ugly. I think it'd be a fun fucking. It's a fun way to do the Troubles. It turned them into a fucking monster.
Yes.
What is this, like Britain, with the Irish and the Troubles?
Kind of.
Not the Troubles, Rodden.
The Troubles with Tribbles.
Tribbles.
So in Star Trek there are these cute little goofballs.
Yeah, I've heard of the Tribbles before.
So you know at the end of the original series episode where Scotty beams them all into the Klingon ship's engine room?
Yes.
This recontextualization turns that into almost like an act of genocide.
Yes.
But at that time they didn't know yet what the Tribbles were either. I mean, they knew that they eat anything and they're geared toward reproduction, but they didn't really notice that that the Tribbles' digestive system is 100% efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that. It just makes it's a great premise for a science fiction horror story.
Hell, you can even explore the origins of the Tribbles. Maybe they were genetically engineered.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sounds like it's a smaller, cuter dingo or coyote.
Smaller, cuter what?
Coyote.
Because
they
fucking eat everything.
Well, yeah, but they're still different. I mean, obviously, but yeah, and see, dude, we need to have a villain that's not so easily defeated. I mean, there's obvious things you're going to be able to do with Tribbles, but you'll still get overwhelmed if you don't get evac. If you don't get an evac, you're going to be overwhelmed. For example, you could set up a perimeter of fire, but that fire is going to go out eventually.
And they're just going to keep coming.
Right. You can sit there and drain your phasers of power while you got them set on wide beam.
Yeah, it's still not going to. You can't kill them fast enough.
Right. And even all the tribbles that burn up, they get eaten by the new oncoming tribbles.
And they use this fuel to reproduce.
And
Yeah.
they eat two friends, and they eat two friends, and they eat two friends.
because the tribbles will just keep eating. It's a really good idea, and they wasted it on oh, that's so cute.
Shit! Imagine when they do that, because there was an episode where Cisco goes back in time and brings the tribbles. And if you recontextualize into that, oh my god, he literally just started a goddamn another Great Famine.
Yeah. You know what? We're basically turning them into the Blob.
Yeah. But it's a villain you can't reason with. It's something that you can't.
Yeah. There's no reasoning with it. There's no
Negotiations.
no negotiations. There's nothing but kill or be killed.
Yes, and if you see one, there's 1,000 more. There has to be.
Yes.
You know?
If you see one, expect 1,000.
Yes. And again, they use their cuteness as a method of travel. You know? Oh, these oh, look at it. It's so cute. I'm going to take one home with me.
Yeah.
And from there, it starts. It's like what Gremlins were. They're literally Gremlins, just cuter. And they don't have that.
Another thing. I don't know why you just made me think of this. We do not figure out their origin.
Okay, makes sense.
We just assume that they've evolved naturally. We don't learn that there is some ancient biological experiment or any of that bullshit. No,
That's an unknown force.
That's already been handled with the Jem'Hadar. We don't need to retread that ground. All we know is all we can do is backtrack to figure out where they evolved. And we're unable to really, because wherever they evolved, this is something we don't necessarily see on screen. But wherever it is they evolved, they've eaten everything up, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left to get information from. The tribbles just are.
Hell,
That's how I would do it.
You can always have that. The closer you get to their origin, it's just fucking a huge desert planet. There's nothing there.
Right.
Nothing but dust and ruins. They've eaten everything.
Well, if they can eat anything, you could basically have that their home planet destroyed.
Well,
What's that?
they eat only organic.
If they can eat, I was about to say, what it sounds like is if they can eat anything, then you can just have it. They like basically ate their planet to the point to where it just decayed.
Well, yeah, but they eat anything organic.
But even then, rotten is still true. If they can eat all the vegetables, if they eat every plant, every tree, it would destroy the planet. You know?
Well, it would destroy the civilization. The planet would still be there.
Well, no, I'm talking about the eco.
And there would still, to be fair, there would still be records.
No, I'm talking about the ecosystem of the planet. It would turn.
Oh yeah, the ecosystem's dead.
Yeah, it would turn into a barren husk, and eventually it'd become a giant dust bowl.
It's only useful if you have a Genesis torpedo.
Yeah, and you don't have one there.
Oh, I thought you had said they could basically eat anything because that's how efficient their digestive tract was. Maybe.
And it makes it work because, you know, when an animal eats something, it shits out the seeds. It's a recycling program, an organic recycling program in a sense. And and that shit becomes fertilizer, so things can grow. When it dies, the bacteria eats off it, and it even in death, life continues in a sense. That's not what the tribbles do.
Finds a way.
Yeah, but that's not what the tribbles do. They don't give out waste. They're not giving anything back.
They don't eject waste because their digestive system is 100% efficient.
And they'll even eat each other. That in death, like, okay, well, this was dead. It's not being used for anything. I'll eat it. So it's, again, even in death, it's not giving anything back.
Right.
So that's why planets decay, and it's a taker, not a giver.
Did you say it's a tapeworm, not an earworm?
No, I said a taker, not a giver. You heard me.
Ah. I love it when I hear things.
So basically, it's a permatop. It can never be a bottom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or would it technically be it's a perma bottom because it's a taker?
Yeah, it's a perma bottom. It takes it.
Shit, I'm getting my BDs. I'm getting my stuff for that all.
You're getting your gay lingo all mixed up.
It's because he didn't grow up with a proper gay education. Like they do today.
You would think I would, considering the fact the area I grew up in is, in a lot of cases, kind of considered the San Francisco of Michigan because of the gay population.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in a tourist area, but I grew up in the area of it, not in the village itself.
Okay.
Oh, I hate this voiceover. Mainly because you can't skip it.
I hate the fact that it took me out my ship to give me this thing.
What? How about that pretentious? Good, because if we're fighting, we're not talking. Fuck you. You fucking space hippie. Die in a fire. He deserved to get killed. I hate that fucking attitude. If we're fighting, we're not talking. Combat is every bit as much communication as communication is.
So we
Especially
can
with
definitely tell it's.
Go ahead.
As I said, we can definitely tell it's not the '90s toy. Skip it.
This is 21st century shit writing in Hollywood. These lines were lifted straight from the show, by the way, in this TFO. They're lifted straight from Star Trek Discovery Season 1. Which explains why they suck. It's badly written and badly acted dialogue.
Again, we went over when we were talking about Tilly. Come on, nerds! Like, the context isn't there. You all are intelligent. Calling someone a nerd wouldn't fucking make any sense.
Right. Especially in Starfleet.
Nah, even with in the mirror universe. Again, your concept of a nerd shouldn't exist. You guys all like fighting.
Yep.
You apes want to live forever?
Even that, you apes, and that's from Starship Troopers. But even then, it wouldn't make any sense either.
You know the funny thing about that? That's loosely based on an actual quote.
Really?
Yes, because that character is actually based on Dan Daly. You know, the person who was set up to pull off the Medal of Honor hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the politicians got involved and were like, no, he can't have a third Medal of Honor because it doesn't matter if he's earned it. It's what we think is fair.
That's horseshit.
And then later on, they changed it to where each individual person can only get one Medal of Honor.
That sucks ass.
But I want to say it was during World War I. Yeah, because that's when we did more trench warfare. Like, he's a grizzled combat veteran for the Marine Corps at that point.
Right.
And basically between the lines of him, the German, he's in his mid to late 40s, leading a bunch of fucking 18-year-olds. They're downtrodden and everything. So basically, he stands up, goes into no man's land with a couple of frag grenades, his 1911, looks at the fucking Germans, looks back at his troops, sees, just all that in their face, and says, come on, you sons of bitches, you want to live forever? And fucking charges.
Yeah.
And by the way, He lived in one.
Again, no, he should have screamed. It would have been better. He screamed, "Witness me!"
Well, you gotta think as well. This was like the 1910s
Not sure. Still,
or
it'd been nice.
1920s-ish. So there wouldn't have been no witness me and whatnot. I mean, this
Right.
was a man who joined the Marine Corps because he wanted to join Roosevelt in the Spanish-American War to join his Rough Riders, but had joined the Marine Corps a month after the war was over,
Witnesses of Klingon supremacy.
and decided to say, fuck it, I'll stay in there because, we've been a country and we've been at war, and we've not been at war for all of 45 seconds. Obviously I'm going to get a fight.
War
Yeah.
declared.
Dude, if you haven't seen the Fat Electrician's or it's like take on that one, it's so great, especially when he talks about the Boxer Rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why they call it the Boxer Rebellion is funnier than hell to me.
Yo, Travis.
They call it the Boxer Rebellion because it was a bunch of martial artists in China who thought that the country had been opened up too fast and was getting too much outward influence.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to kill or beat the shit out of any foreign influence and get them out of there.
And
But to a
backfired
bunch of
fucking
American, hold on. To a bunch of Americans, when they were doing their kung fu, they said they looked like boxers, hence calling it the Boxer Rebellion.
Makes sense.
You know how long that idea persisted? Hello, Tragic Gardener. Goodbye, Tragic Gardener.
The best. Oh, go ahead.
That same idea of boxing carried on through the 1970s.
I'll be right back, gentlemen. I'm going to get me something to drink.
Right on.
I'm listening.
In the Spider-Man TV series in the 70s, fucking Keiko O'Brien, what's her name? Rosalind Chow was a guest on an episode of the 70s Spider-Man live action series. And they were showing a bunch of Chinese people in a park doing Tai Chi. She actually had the line, "I wish I knew how to shadow box." The whole concept of that being, even if you look at some of the films too, that were dubbed into English, Chinese boxing. That misconception of what was going on carried on for fucking decades.
Oh no, the part that I loved about this, the whole story of him going over there for the Boxer Rebellion, is he gets put on one of the walls, or it's like they go to one of the walls to basically have a bunch of missionaries and it's like in American businesses and whatnot, and civilians to protect them. Well, they're waiting for reinforcements, and it's starting to get late. They're like, okay, they must have got lost. So we're going to go find said reinforcements. Hey, Daly, you stay here. Now, no one knows why that actually happened, and I like the way the Fat Electrician put it. Maybe it was because, fuck the new guy Daly because, he's here and we're going to give him the shit job. Or they might have been like, Daly doesn't have all the influence, all the experience we do, so we'll leave him here where it should theoretically be safe.
Travis, if you want to come on, you can come on.
Or that, maybe they were like, this guy's the main character of the story and we're just going to leave him here anyways.
Yeah.
Well, they went out and met the reinforcements, or the people that were supposed to bring reinforcements and replenish supplies and everything. I think it was just the resupply. But it was too late to go back in there because there was a fuck ton of, boxers looking for a fight.
Yo,
and
Tragic.
That whole thing. So they set up a defensive position and had to wait until morning.
Hold on a second,
It was
Rod.
over.
Rod, hold on a second. Travis, say something.
Something?
Nah,
Yeah,
because
there we go.
we couldn't hear you at first.
Yeah.
All right, Rod.
Yeah. I my microphone wasn't on because I didn't have my headset plugged in.
I laughed in your general direction.
Talking about the Boxer Rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, with Dan Daly, I love this one because I watch it like probably like every couple months or whatnot now.
You fat electrician.
Yep. But I love
Alright.
how he goes to that. Basically, like 200 of these guys show up. Now some of them got guns, but we're talking like black powder. Some of them got bow staffs and shit, and just a few of them rocking the old meat mittens.
Fine.
Like they
I'm
got
doing
traditional
the-
martial arts weapons. And these fuckers legitimately thought because of their training that they were immune from bullets.
Oh
But-
God.
So they heard machine gun. So, Daly's platoon that he was part of, or company or whatever, is sitting there listening to screaming and machine gun fire, and screaming and machine gun fire. Then the machine gun fire stops. They're still hearing screaming, but now bolt action fire. Screaming, some more bolt action fire. He gets the machine gun reloaded, and they go back to screaming and machine gun fire. More screaming and machine gun fire. And it starts to finally die down and die down and die down until there's no longer any screaming. Now his platoon or company or whatever thought he was dead. They're like, we got to go back in town, reclaim his body, and this sucks and everything. And when they get there, they're like, wow, Private Daly actually did pretty well for himself. He took this on. He took on pretty well. They kept going like, holy shit, like Private Daly took out a lot of these motherfuckers. Kept going, holy shit, this is like the most aerodynamic grave. It's like mass death I've ever seen. So when they get to the top of the wall, they see Private Daly standing next to his machine gun, smoking a pipe, and I think he was like reading the paper or some shit. And they're like, holy shit, you're alive? And he's like, yeah, why would I be? Like, well, we heard the machine gun fire die down and the screaming stopped. We thought you died. He's like, oh, no. I stopped firing when they stopped coming. And it's funny because, like, all the businessmen and civilians were just like, oh, my God, we've seen what one Marine can do. Now we have a whole company of them. And then, the missionaries were just like, oh, my God, we want to make these people holy, but not like this.
It was such a it's such a bizarre story. Just the whole thing from you had a mixture of not only were we there, we had the British were there, French, German, Russian, not Chinese.
Well, the Chinese were there.
The Chinese were there,
Yeah.
on the other side, but and the Japanese were all of us were on the same side, and they made a movie about it that is a really old movie. Back where they'd even have like a musical breakout in the middle of a war movie.
Oh God.
The song's catchy. I'm sorry. I actually do like it.
Oh, I still have to say the next part, my favorite part of that's like, after this dude goes and, I can't remember where it's at. I think it's during the Cockles Rebellion or whatever. When they got pushed back into the river, someone it's like the enemy shot the horse, killing it. It sank to the bottom of the river with their machine gun. So they set up a defensive position knowing that they were going to get attacked in the morning. And this motherfucker went by himself and found dived all night until he found the horse, dived some more, got it loose, and carried all the machine gun parts and the ammunition back to it. Oh yeah, by the way, Dan Daly's like 5'6", 5'7", and weighed, I think it was 160 pounds. And all that equipment was like 210.
That's not shocking. In Korea, my dad's group was pinned down. A lot of the story about the one guy who wasn't wounded who went and saved everyone.
Oh,
that was
in 77.
That was my dad.
Really?
No, I'm not saying that guy. I mean, that's the story.
Okay.
My dad lived that story. He went and took out, I think it was somewhere between 15 and 20 enemies, and rescued his platoon, essentially.
Yeah, because the guy
Single-handedly.
Oh wait, no, the guy didn't. He still got hurt. But I'm thinking of from the 77th, and that was the dude who didn't carry a gun because he was a conscientious objector, but he was older than typically for how it was. Because the 77th was like the average age was like 37 or something.
Oh no, it wasn't that kind of a thing exactly.
Well, that was World War II, is what I'm thinking.
But it's I'm talking about the basic story where the guy saves his platoon single-handedly. That was my dad. He got a Silver Star for it in the Army.
That ain't gonna rank your father.
He's shorter than I'm 5'6". He's shorter than I am.
Yeah, I think he might have been shorter than 5'6". I can't remember exactly.
Mitch, I don't say this to be mean, but you're a dwarf.
Yeah, I know. I don't take it as a meanness. I take it as a you damn right.
My best friend is
So
a dwarf.
I have to ask this, Mitch. Do you desire to dig caverns to mine for special ore?
Sometimes.
Have you? I was gonna say, have you embraced your dwarf side?
In a manner of speaking. I've embraced the fact that I ain't getting any taller.
Facility Alpha is back online.
But, I can get meaner. I guess. I've embraced certain realities about myself, yes.
I learned to accept the basic facts. I will always be black.
Yeah, exactly.
You're black?
No!
I can't believe I've been streaming with a. Never mind.
With a colored man!
I've been streaming with a colored man.
You kidding? His name is Blackie Blackerson.
That's my government name, Mitch. Why are you telling
Of course,
people
you're streaming with a collared man. Every shirt has a collar there, Travis. Okay.
It's the accent. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Does a V-neck count as a collar?
No, it doesn't. Technically,
We know Tier works with TSA, so he wears a collared shirt majority of the time.
Oh,
that's true.
At work they wanted to transition us over to polos, and I'm like,
why?
I'm not wearing a polo to work.
I had to deal with that for one job, and I still say that was the dumbest shit.
And people didn't understand it because our normal work shirt is it's a button-up shirt, 2 breast pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, you would have to wear an undershirt with it, Travis. And like, you don't understand. I don't like polos.
No, they're not business casual. They're just dumb.
Right.
Well, my uniform is a blue polo because I'm in the basement. I'm the guy you don't see. I'm the one searching your stuff.
You maintain the gloves.
No, I'm the one that's searching your bags when you put them under the plane. That's what I did. I don't fill people up anymore. You know,
You do it physically. You do it emotionally.
Yeah. After year 13, you can move up in the world and not have to touch people. I haven't touched a human being. I haven't touched a human being since my mom died in 2016. So that's about 7 years now? Nope, about 8. Huh. So yeah. Hey, Assassin. Assassin says, I always wear an undershirt and I do not like short sleeves. Agreed. Short sleeves suck.
As I sit here
It
in
depends on
sleeveless
what's
shirt.
happening. I'll tell you one thing I hate. I like to wear a dress shirt, but I don't like to have to roll the sleeves up.
I wear.
There's got to be a better way.
There's gotta be a better way.
I wear short sleeves after the whole wolf cooktop incident.
All right, okay, all right. You said these words, and you have to explain what the hell happened.
I was trying to adjust the
Wow, this is the second
wolf
time we
coat.
got matched with this guy.
I had to. It was the first time I was adjusting the flame height on a wolf commercial cooktop, and I overjudged how much you need to turn that little screw, and I set my shirt on fire.
Cool.
Travis, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
I've done that as well, except for I was straddling an I-beam like 20 feet in the air.
All right, again, you gonna have to elaborate.
One of the places I worked at when I worked with my dad for that company, we had basically like these type of shells, things that were kind of made out of a iron rod I-beam. Well, they wanted to be able to use the top, but they had these fucking steel rods, or it's like, steel rods on them that made it so you couldn't put a pallet there.
Okay.
So I went up there with a grinder, or climbed up there with a grinder and ground them off, and didn't realize that the spot that the frickin' sparks were going into was right into my shirt. So, yeah, I set my shirt on fire for a little bit. And of course, my dad, being the smart ass that we all are, was like, "Now, son, what have I told you? If you're going to do this, you have to do this right. If you're going to you can't just set yourself on fire partially. You have to set yourself on fire entirely."
Yep.
And I went, "Dad, we've discussed this. I'm not doing that, considering the fact that this is," it's like, it's circled around my face. I'm like, "This is all I have to work with. Trying to fuck it up anymore."
Yeah, mine was that it's the first time I was ever having to work on one of these, and I had to adjust the flame height. So I sent a message to my to a coworker and asked him, "It's like, how do I adjust this screw for this?" And he's like, he sends me a message that says 4 turn. He said 4 and just turn.
All the probes on this island. Time to move to the next one.
Okay. 4 turns of the adjustment screw. 3-foot flint. I look back at my phone and it says, "Sorry, I meant
4 quarter turns.
Quarter turn." He left the 1 slash off of it.
Would have been nice to know a few minutes ago, asshole.
But the best thing about it was the customer was not in the kitchen at the time, so I could just
turn it back around and everything,
and pretend like nothing ever happened.
Put the coat on over the burnt sleeves.
That's exactly what I did. Thank God it was winter.
Do you smell something? No, that's just the smell of the, yeah. It's okay. It's normal.
That's the smell of victory.
I got no problem with short sleeves, but I've also lived in quite a few hot and humid areas. And long sleeves are not fun in those areas.
No.
So my job is close to
I'm a very rarely wear sleeveless shirts kind of guy. But I always wear an undershirt nowadays.
Look,
just because I also carry a gun, and I'd rather have the gun rub on the undershirt than rub on me.
Makes sense. My job is closest to Hoth that you'll ever get, so I need long sleeves to keep warm.
Well, for mine, it's like, okay, I've spent over a month in frickin' Djibouti, Africa, so 11 degrees north of the equator, and then I spent 3 years in Okinawa and 9 years in Clovis, New Mexico, but they still got winter and snow and shit. It just, everything was drift snow because, that part of New Mexico is the goddamn plains.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so there's no trees, no forest. So snow stops when it hits buildings.
Makes sense.
Quite literally, we've had to dig out our own buildings before.
Jesus Christ.
That's what happens.
I had a friend that joined the Air Force, right after high school, and yeah, he hated winter. Like
They sent him to Minot, didn't they?
that was it. That was yeah. They sent him to Minot.
I
Oh, man,
hate the winter.
I was so hoping to get like Minot, or not like I actually, well, I didn't really want Minot. Like I wanted Germany. I didn't really want. It's like I would have loved Japan when I was that young, but I know I'd have gotten fucking hits because I was a goddamn weed. But I was kind of really hoping for Alaska.
Why? One good reason why, Riding.
Oh, amazing hunting! I'd still do it nowadays.
Fucking.
And that whole thing. It's just I'd probably carry a bigger gun more often.
Disable the probe.
Yeah, polar bears ain't no joke.
I am
Yeah, just ask Joe Rogan.
Did you? Oh, we're talking about hunting. Did you?
That's all the probes on
For
the
some
side.
reason, just popped to mind. Did you remember about a few weeks ago when I posted the photo sniper?
The what?
It was the Soviet 35mm camera with the telephoto lens, but it came with a rifle stock.
No, I don't remember one that directly offhand.
Hold on really quickly. Let me read some chats. You saw that the arrowhead-shaped ship on the screen, on the weight screen, that's the one from the 3D artist DeviantArt. It is? Molesting people in TSA, is that why Kefki Demon locked your bones in the wooden box marked Grumpy Cranky Bones inside, do not open? No, I stopped doing that when I became a lich. I don't touch people anymore. I don't molest anybody. And Green says, Green's everyone, and Alaska is beautiful. Yo, Green, and I would take your word for it.
Hold on.
Bits that I've seen of Alaska, it is a beautiful state.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine. Get the fuck off of me!
Fucking storms again. I figured Kefki, miswrote it, and that whole thing was supposed to be like, don't open, dead inside, but it says don't dead, open inside.
Been a long time since I had to dead open something.
I will get my bones back, Assassin. And when I do,
Hey man, that's one of the being the undead is you can crack open some boys with the cold ones.
There's a large number of Alachi.
Man. God damn it. Alright, I must say, this mission sucks.
It can.
And
Alright, just...
Go ahead.
Rotten, I just sent you a picture of that.
Alright, I'll check it in a little bit. On Twitter or on Discord?
Twitter.
On the Twitter.
Okay.
Me and Discord don't get along very well.
Well, I didn't know if you just threw it in like the memes chat or something.
There is a meme channel?
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense. Hold on. Upload a file.
I'll see. Well, they're playing this game. I'm doing dailies that I couldn't get earlier on the Bleach Brave Souls game I play.
There you go.
Because I'm not freaking going to the gym this week since I got 2 12-hour shifts tomorrow, or 4-hour shift tomorrow and the day after, and I'm like, I don't feel like dealing with that shit.
The bioforms are nearly full.
And then the way it might be going, I might have fucking 12s and a Saturday next weekend. I'm just like, son of a bitch.
It's always something.
I have refrigerator day tomorrow. It is nothing but just shitty refrigerator.
Well, it's not my fault that a fucking transformer blew up, while we were at work.
Damn those robots in disguise.
Goddamn Decepticons. Always blowing shit up.
I hate it when the transformer blows and then they get bolt tongue.
Well, then it's like, because we haven't been getting everything. It's like, look, man, like
You large cap
you got rid of our
just a
third
console
shift
lock
because
on.
they didn't have enough people, and then it's like shit hasn't been going well because you have that dumbass business model that you think you're going to see a 3% increase every year ad nauseum.
One console
That's
down,
not
time
how
to go.
things work.
Wait a minute. Assassin the Grave really quick. There's a giant cockroach following you. It's gonna eat you. It will. It will. I'm still pissed that they stole this shit from Narbardine
That takes care of the consoles.
and they got away with it.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure that's an
Nicely
AK
done.
stock.
The network is safe. For
Let me see. It's
That looks almost more like a Sten stock.
Well, I mean, it's made specifically for the camera. It's
Yeah.
just it's just a rifle style.
Yeah.
They made it specifically for military and intelligence use, like made export versions, so you can buy them on eBay. They're not terribly expensive, and I've been trying to convince myself to buy one, but Jesus, I don't not like I need another one.
Hold on. I will put that in chat. Hold on.
It's like there's
Well,
like
not put in chat.
it's like $300. And
Giant cockroach following you. It's gonna eat you. Sorry, I was reading the.
Windows capture. Browser. Alright.
but personally, I think it'd be the best. Camera.
If the trigger actually works to take a picture, that would actually be pretty good for hunters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Or is
That's
it
the
not
whole
just hunters, but like it's like going out on safari and whatnot, where you're quite literally just trying to document the wildlife.
Yeah, that's the trigger is actually attached via cable to the shutter.
This is what Travis is talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It is a
You're
beautiful...
showing at a browser source.
I did. It'll pop up soon.
Yeah, there's a delay on the YouTubes. You know that.
Yeah, quite literally by a lot, because it's still showing that whole thing. I'm surprised you just didn't do add image. Okay, there it is.
That does look like a Sten stock.
I mean, the thing is about I have a couple of Soviet cameras, and the weird thing is about them is the optics, the lenses they're really good actually. Typically.
Well, I mean, those optics are pretty good. Like old school optics for like the Mauser and whatnot are not actually that good for their glass and everything.
Well,
like after watching the Brand Herrera's one on like the sniper Mosin and whatnot, for the people that truly like took out a metric fuck ton of people with those rifles, that's all the shooter right there.
Well, here's quick story about Soviet cameras after World War II.
Okay.
Like before World War II, they couldn't make shit. They didn't have the technology to do everything else. They win. They take Eastern Europe, which had Zeiss. It had Vogtlander. It had several of the big German camera and optics companies. So what did the Soviets do? They take all of the tooling out of the factories and drag it to the Ukraine. And now, of course, they take the German technicians and German engineers with them too.
Okay, so at least doing somewhat smart.
And basically just like show us how to. Yeah, you're going to show us how to make good cameras. And did they? the optics were good. The camera bodies never really advanced beyond what they got in the late 50s. Like one of the cameras I have, the Soviet cameras, is a Fed 2, which they made from 1949 to 1981.
Hold on. Assassin's
It's a
Grey,
Fed.
just like Islam inventing advanced mathematics, and he puts inventing in quotation marks. The Soviets claim to have invented advanced camera technology.
And I'm really reluctant to say good, because most of the time the bodies are so whatever, who cares. The lenses on Soviet cameras can be very, very good or very, very awful,
Okay.
and you have no idea if you're going to get, because you could go look at like Nikon. It's like Nikon Nikon lenses are typically good to excellent. They made a couple of really shitty.
They've also made some really nice scopes.
Oh yeah. I mean, put a pin in that. I got a story about that too.
Oh Lord.
This is gonna be Travis babbling about cameras and optics.
Go right ahead.
But the thing is, like, you got like one camera lens that is, you can have like two of them. That one of them is excellent.
Mhm.
It is the best one they make. But one that came off the assembly line another day, they had the quality control guy was drunk. Awful. So you might buy 3 of the same exact lenses and get completely different quality.
Really?
Yes. The story about the Nikon, before they made cameras, they made binoculars, telescopes, microscopes. They didn't make them under the Nikon name. It was Nikkor. There was a few other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they made rangefinders for gunnery. Their binoculars were so good. Our Navy during World War II would do everything they could to salvage them from Japanese wrecks and everything else, because they were better than what we were making.
That's not surprising.
Hold on a second. 3 new chats have popped in. Green Badger Outdoor says, I wish I still had my October Revolution Soviet pocket watch. He says, the Soviets made a lot of claims, and then Cannibalistic Wizard. They breed like Mexicans with Viagra and Yo Cannibal.
What breeds like Mexicans with Viagra? Fucking tribbles?
Soviets.
No.
Oh. Commies. Yes.
God damn, that's one hell of a storm outside.
God damn it, Robin. Do you live in the middle of the goddamn where storms form?
No, normally it's not like this.
I come from where the wind begins.
Cleveland?
What? The broken wind.
Ah!
Where the broken wind begins.
Cincinnati. Got it.
Smells like ass.
I just come from wind.
You come from
Sometimes
the armpit of
squirrels.
America.
That's Texas. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I still think it's funny when you fart bad enough that strangers start to sweat.
What the fuck, Mitch?
But we all know Terry comes from a land down under.
He comes from a land down under.
He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Again, I don't even think he's real. Like, Tari doesn't. I've never met anyone from Australia other than Tari. I don't think that place exists.
Australia doesn't exist.
Exactly. Tari is an AI program that thinks he's an Australian.
Terry's real name is Kevin, and he lives in Idaho.
Australia doesn't exist until it gets rid of the tyranny.
Yes. New Zealand doesn't exist either.
Kind of like Canada. Until Canada gets rid of Trudeau, it's not Canada, it's Canada.
Well, you know, the crazy thing is about. I was so surprised at how the Australians acted during the past time.
The dark times. Where the truth was rampant.
What specifically surprised you?
I always kind of thought of the Australians as being kind of like, basically the same mentality as Americans.
Oh, you're surprised that they went along with it so easily?
Yes.
I'm surprised that a lot of people went along with it so easily.
Hold on, there are 4 new chats in stream. Assassin of Gray says, I trained with an Australian Army machine gun company. Cannibalistic Wizard said, so you're saying tribbles eat ass? And then Assassin of Gray says, no, up north is Kanakistan. Green Badger Outdoor says, yeah, just had a storm blow through. Most of it's over the lakes now. So I'm assuming that green is somewhere near Michigan? Or
at least near the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's on the other side.
All these people who would ordinarily claim to value liberty knuckled under really fucking fast. Because they thought that safety was more important, and look where you got us, morons.
To quote Benjamin
Franklin, like to do?
Hold on, Mitch. To quote Benjamin Franklin, those who trade liberty for security deserve neither.
Agreed. The funniest part, and I like to do this, I like to tweak people's nipples with information like this sometimes. It wasn't the Crips and Bloods shutting down businesses.
No.
Or the Crips and the Bloods have a greater understanding of the right to keep and bear arms than government does.
Yep. Wait a minute, Green Badger writes, Kanakistan is the home of the Maple Apes, and he's in Wisconsin.
Oh. That's
So you're in
Wisconsin.
You're in Kiev territory. I'm down.
You down in Oklahoma?
I'm down here in Oklahoma. My closest is Camel, and he's not close.
I'm up in Maryland.
Where the hell is East Virginia?
So it's right next to North Virginia.
I'm really pissed off about this. We got Virginia and West Virginia, but we got North Dakota, South Dakota, North Carolina, South Carolina. Where's East Virginia? God damn it!
Well, where's Old York and Old Mexico? We know regular Mexico is.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, exactly. That would make New York New York.
New York. Well, I want to know where Old Jersey is. There's a New Jersey. Where's Old Jersey?
For some reason, I think if you follow the smell, you'll find Old Jersey. Or Camp Crystal Lake, one of the two.
All I have to say is I just want our bridges back.
No, you can't have your bridges back. Texas took them right fair and square.
That is the first and only time in Oklahoma history where a governor fought against having something with a toll.
Well, it's one because he didn't control it.
Oh, right after this, you remember we made the joke about Alfalfa Bill here?
Yeah. Yes.
About how this guy probably says the N-word 5 times before he has
Eat
breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, I was doing some more. I was reading an article I found on him after
Mhm.
the stream.
Mhm.
I was so close of that joke because he used the N-word in his inaugural address.
I like him already. Then again, he's a Democrat, so.
Hell,
Mm.
Well, let's be honest. There are different contexts in which you can use that word.
Yes.
Democrat?
Yeah, that too.
wait. All right. 3 new super chats. Assassin of Grey. Old Jersey is in Great Britain. Campbell says in the theory, could a triple eat the sun? Salt's not organics. Oh, so I guess he's listening to us talk about tribbles, and he was saying maybe tribbles eat the salt, not organic. And then Green Badger Outdoors says, Country Road, take me home to a place I belong. East Virginia, Mountain Mama.
I think we should have glassed fucking Iraq and just named it East Virginia.
No, we
just to rub. Okay, see, I'm pissed off at the Middle East because they're a bunch of fucking savages.
Okay.
I'm tired of their shit. I'm tired of America being
World
in
police.
any way associated / responsible for their shit. So fuck them. Glass the region, name it East Virginia to rub it in.
My ex-wife, she messaged me. She was I've told you how horrible she's also a very, very hardcore liberal.
Ah, Lord. My heart goes out to you.
Want me to talk to her?
No! God, no! Wait a minute. That's ex-wife. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah, she messaged me. She is like really hard on the Palestinian cause now.
Fucking hell. Fuck that whole fucking situation. Glad to marry and be done with it.
She tells me that they need to return Israel back to the people that previously owned it. I'm like, yes, I completely agree with you. I agree with you 100%. We should do that. We should give it back to the British.
No. We should give it back to the Ottomans, damn it. The Ottomans should get their land back.
Because at no point did the Palestinians have Palestine.
Nope.
It was British, Ottomans. I think some point there the French were involved, but before that it was going back to the Persians,
the Mamelukes.
But you know who was the original people on there? The Hebrews.
I thought you were going to say the Duke boys.
Them Duke boys. Wait. Some more super chats.
I mean, they were just some good old boys, you know.
Never meaning no harm.
Been in trouble with the law since the day they were born.
God damn it.
Beats all you never saw.
That's kind of, honestly, that's kind of like the beginning of the story of the Hebrews and the Romans.
Wait a minute, we got more chats. Assassin of Grey writes, who, him? And then Campbell Elizabeth says, West Virginia, mount your mama, take it over. Not country, but country roads. And then... Wait. Mitch, Green Badger Outdoors right, Mitch the Ripper. Have you ever heard of the song Fuck the Middle East by SOD? And then Assassin of Grey goes, the Romans, you idiot! in response to your ex-wife, she goes, you gotta return back to the original owners. The Romans?
Oh, God, have I heard of that song? Now I gotta look it up.
I don't think
give me something to do after the stream.
I don't think the Romans can reclaim that territory, seeing how they're no longer an empire.
SOD, that's supposed to be System of a Down, right?
No. That was an older band, I believe, called Stormtroopers of Death.
I need to look at Making their way their only way they know how.
That's just a little bit more than the law will allow.
Again, in the context, it kind of sounds like it. The history of the Hebrews and the Romans.
Bunch of fucking
Green, Assassin
Yeah,
Gray,
yeah.
make Rome great again. Look, restore the HRE. Tyr Alexander for Holy Roman Emperor. What?
Who's the unholy Roman emperor?
I don't know. Rome.
Do they get equal time? What's the etiquette?
Well, to be the Holy Roman Emperor, you gotta be born in purple. So I guess to be the unholy Roman Emperor, you gotta be born in white, I guess.
I'm lost.
Rome, cannibalism for Rome. The Holy Land belongs to Rome. Daily vote. Daily vote. Y'all could. We gonna start a what? Would it be the 7th Crusade? I can't remember what crusade it's up. It would be up to now. Huh.
Oh God, who knows?
We'll say the 159th billionth crusade.
The 101st.
Yes. It will start here on Means of the Zoo. Dance vote, everyone. Dance vote. Assassin of Gray. The unholy Roman emperor is Caligula, of course.
He was a horny fucker.
He fucked his sister.
Honestly...
Wait, I thought that was Luke Skywalker.
No, Luke wanted to fuck his sister. And R2 was going to sit there and let him sit there and watch.
And she always knew. Wait.
Okay.
Anyway.
I have a weird... I've just been noticing this a lot more lately.
What?
Why are so many people talking about incest now?
Because what's her face fucked her brother? Ilhan Omar.
That's probably part of it. It does seem to have become a greater part of the, but usually when I refer to it, it's in one of two contexts, and one of them is a purely thought experiment kind of thing. But we'll get to that. The first one is actually I speak of when I use it interchangeably with nepotism when it comes to Hollywood.
Yeah, Mitch.
Because Hollywood is very nepotistic and incestuous.
Mitch Green says he sent you the song on the Twitter machines. Caligula's favorite song was "Sweet Home Alabama." And
go on. Tell me when you're past the comments.
And he's one more. Cause anal has gotten passe, so prawn needs to find new degeneracy.
Oh, that degeneracy was always there. They're just finally going past the whole "help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck."
Just help me, brother, I'm stuck.
They're just going straight to drop. They're just dropping the step now.
Just going, help me, brother, I'm stuck in the wash machine.
Well, see, look. Here's the other context in which I. It's a thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we believe in liberty.
Yes.
And we have a situation where consenting adults are engaging in incest.
I don't give a shit.
I don't care.
Wear protection.
I don't care.
Let me finish the scenario.
Go ahead.
They are not looking to reproduce. In fact, they are actively avoiding it. Reproduction, not the sex part. Then do we have a right constitutionally? Does government have a right to or have the authority to outlaw such activity?
Nope.
I don't think they should.
I don't think they possess that authority either.
All right, even all right. So,
is it icky? Yes,
it is.
But government has no authority.
Incest is icky.
I'll put it to you like this. Wait a minute, hold on. Even if they are actually seeking reproduction, you have no right to tell them who they share the genetic information with.
Well, see, now that changes the parameters a bit, because when you are actively looking to reproduce, you are running the risk of damaging an innocent with birth defects, because coming from the same gene pool, you do have a higher
you do have a
rate
higher risk
of genetic drift.
And I don't want my tax money going to pay for your flipper kids.
First generation is usually okay. Like if it is only when you constantly do it, the inbreeding, that the deformities start and the issues start. Usually first generation is pretty fine because there still is enough difference in the DNA.
Usually.
And again, I'll say usually.
And that's only one generation out of how many?
Yes.
I that's my point, is going with that first generation thing, that begins our path down that slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the innocent unborn child being condemned to a life of is I think not worth the reproduction.
I can't tell you who to stick it in. I can't stop you from sticking it in who you want to stick it in. As long as there's two consenting adults, I could care less. We can hear you. As long as you're two consenting adults and you understand what the risk of your actions are, who am I to tell you what to do? It's like when you want to use drugs. Do I think drugs are bad for you? Yes, I do think they're bad for you. But can I tell you not to stick that needle in your arm? No, do you? Who am I?
All you can do is advocate.
All I can do is advocate. I can't force you not. Just like I can't force someone not to drink, because just because I choose not to drink doesn't mean that drinking in itself is wrong.
It's that whole thing when you try to enforce it or outlaw it, you tend to make it taboo, which makes it which, in all reality, does make it sought after.
I got one better for you. I'll say it like this: I can't force my standards of living, my moralities on you. Mitch, you can't live by the rules I set for myself. I can't force you to live by those rules.
Right. It's like my thing about socialism. When someone asks me, can people be socialists in the United States of America? I say yes. They just can't force anyone else into it with them.
Yes, they can't. You can't force anyone else to do it. It's the same issue I had with the gay agenda. You can't force me to accept your life. You can't force me to use your pronouns. I think you're fucking insane. And I think you're a guy. No matter how much you say, oh, I'm a girl. No, you're a guy. You're a girl. There's only two genders.
I think the best defense against the pronoun police is to, malicious compliance. So when they say, hi, my name is Jim, pronouns are him, her, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They, theirs, let's say. I will not introduce that. I will not introduce Jim as Jim. I will introduce Jim as they, theirs. Hey, this is they, theirs.
I won't even.
Hey, they, theirs. You want a cookie? I will rub it in so fucking hard that it hurts.
I won't even do that.
To demonstrate what a fucking self-important prick you're doing. Or you're being.
The moment you force me to use your preferred pronouns, I won't say shit to you or about you.
No, I just replace their name with it because apparently they think that a pronoun is a name or something.
It's something they can use. I got two new from Assassin of Ray. Your wrong reproduction happens because idiots do not know how to use condoms, and you want America to become like Pakistan, lead the world in inbreeding, and are stupid. Like, no one's forcing inbreeding. Like,
again, that's where they have the whole thing they brought up of we're looking at going through the whole process of also saying advocation for safe sex and actually teaching safe sex and that whole thing, not doing the dumb shit they do currently where they still try to preach abstinence.
Yes, it is
because they're a bunch of fucking retards.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a pretty obvious thing. People like to fuck. Okay, we start from that premise. People like to fuck. And that applies to people of all ages and all incomes and blah, 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 blah. People like
People
to
of a
fuck.
lot
There's
of
no
ages,
getting.
I would say, not all ages.
Well, okay.
Of
But
consenting ages.
the point being, people like to fuck. So
Yes.
knowing that people like to fuck, you try to give people the best tools possible to avoid the downfalls of fucking. And
Here's a condom.
sometimes the downfall of fucking is pregnancy. So give them a tool. Let them put a tool in place to prevent the pregnancy. That's fine. But don't use abortion as a birth control.
No.
Wait a minute.
The time to make your reproductive choice is before you stick your dick in.
Assassin of Greg goes,
Or get a
what
dick stuck in
abstinence? They're teaching
Right.
children fisting. And I agree. Like, all right.
Well, that's because, well, again, but when you look into that whole thing, it's like, yes, they are teaching a lot of cases homoeroticism and that whole thing, but they're still not advocating for safe sex
Right.
at all. Like, even for the gays, which is just like the whole thing of like, okay, yes, you have that type of shit, but guess what? You can still catch a disease if you're not protecting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But that just seems to be one of the that seems to be like a very chronic problem with they call it the sex positive sex education, or they want to teach all this great things about having fun with sex, but they
None of
kind
the
of miss the
problems.
whole point. The whole point of it's
Not
like
getting knocked up.
it's like I don't want to send my kid to driver's ed for the driver's ed teacher to teach him how to drift around a parking lot.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I want him to know the rules of the road. He's going to fit. It's like that story you sent us about the. I want my kids to see kink. No.
Gay
See,
pride
these
and
are the-
kids
these
have
are-
should never be anywhere near each other.
These are the people who either don't understand, and I think they do understand, honestly, or are unwilling to cope with the concept of informed consent. Because
God.
that's why we have age of consent laws, is because a 12-year-old girl with a 30-year-old man has no idea what she's getting into when the fucking begins.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not even talking about the potential for pregnancy. I'm talking about the emotional impact.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
They don't have the proper amount of life experience to cope with the potential outcomes when they arise, and they will. So even if that 12-year-old says, yes, I wanted to fuck, that 12-year-old cannot give informed consent. And that's the important thing, is the informed part.
And
Well, that's why it's that whole thing of like, when it's typically towards female teachers is where it's directed at, is the whole fact of like, they're still supposed to be the adult and tell the kid no.
Hold on, really quickly. Assassin. I hate you because I already know what the fuck a bug chaser is. And I don't hate you specifically, but I hate the concept of that shit. That shit is fucking disgusting. It is You know what a bug chaser is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that shit is fucking
Is that
disgusting.
a gotta catch 'em all type person?
Yeah, it's basically a clout chaser.
No, God, no.
No, it is. If they can catch the HIV, then they have victim status, and that's essentially chasing clout.
That's sickening. That is fucking sickening.
I agree. It is.
Remember monkeypox or mpox?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And guess who it mainly affected? It was mainly affected
I'm sure
one group.
It's either the monkeys or the pox that are mostly effective.
No, I said who was mainly catching it.
It was the
gay men, some kids,
Wasn't
and
the chickens.
surprisingly dogs.
No,
yeah,
it was a gay man, a small child, a male child, and a dog. And the only way it's a sexually transmitted disease. You can't kiss somebody on the lips, on the cheek and get it. You have to transfer via sex. Now, those two instances with the child and the goddamn dog says something about the people around this child and said dog.
Yep.
One of the favorite things I've seen on it was like when they had it was a.
You okay?
One of the
What up, Keishel?
It was one of the Lotus Eaters,
Mm-hmm.
and he was Sargon was up there. He was reading it off about it, and he was talking about it, and Callum was just sitting there listening, and he came to it was a kid and a dog that got it, and Callum was like, you see him just. His face just changed all of a sudden and look and just almost said, how? And then Sargon just kind of looks at him with that, that look. I can't say it on here, but you know exactly how.
Yes, and we all know exactly how. And I fucking feel for that poor kid.
Good point, Assassin. Monkeypox disappeared the instant they reported children caught it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which means they just stopped reporting it.
Yep.
Well, it's kind of like in a lot of areas for like, look, don't you see? It's like, crime is down. It's like not reporting crime or not freaking
Enforcing crime?
Or not enforcing crime, but enforcing the law on it does not mean the crime went away.
Right.
Or ignoring crime up into a certain point. Like you have to steal over a set amount before it's considered a crime.
You want to know the best way to get crime statistics to be reported accurately?
How?
Cut funding for law enforcement wherever crime statistics are unnaturally low.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
but,
well,
then we do run the risk of having the opposite effect. They'll report everything, and I think that's why I think it's one of the reasons they always want to get your ID. Is because then they prove they made contact in a criminal investigation, even though it's not a criminal investigation. And quite frankly, if it's not a criminal investigation, police have no business there. Get them out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to re-examine the reasons we as a population call the police.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just on the cops. But I just saw a video where, was it Honor Your Both investigations? The Jeff guy with the God Bless the Homeless Vet sign?
Mm-hmm.
And the police always hassle him and make up charges. He got a recording of one of the 911 calls. And the 911 call was basically because there's a guy who's disagreeing with me.
Really?
Well, last I understood, 911 was for emergency use only.
Yeah.
Someone disagreeing with you is not a fucking emergency. The police did not arrest the caller or charge the caller with a crime.
Yeah, what is it?
But they did try to get Jeff Gray.
What is it called when you file a false report? Yeah, false police report. And I got 2 new messages in chat. The San Francisco Gay Men's Choir is about 60% kid sniffer offenders. And then Green Badger says, you want vigilante justice because that's how you get it.
Yep, exactly. Now let's look at the Trump assassination attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we were a proper Second Amendment society, that guy never would have got a shot off.
Nope.
You'd have motherfuckers covering him. You'd have had other motherfuckers getting up there because they knew that someone else was covering him. As it is, the guy on the roof was the only guy with the gun, and no one in the crowd could do anything about it for fear of getting shot. Well, if everyone's armed, and Twitchy McTriggerfinger makes one wrong move, he's going to eat a bullet.
Again, I said this before, and I gave this exact scenario. If you go into a bank with the intent to rob it, and you see that every motherfucker in there is carrying a gun, you're going to think twice. You're going to think 3 times. And you're just going to leave. You're just going to get in line and, open up an account. You're not going to do shit.
That's why I don't hear about any carjackings in Oklahoma City anymore.
Because everybody's like, again, and by law, by definition, criminals do not follow the law. So it does not hurt the criminal when you say, oh, it's illegal to have this weapon. They don't fucking care.
Yeah.
By the very definition of what they are, they don't give two shits about the law. They're criminals. Oh,
Exactly.
They made a law that said I cannot chew bubblegum. Fuck, I care. I'm gonna chew it any damn way. I'm a criminal.
Well, that's the other thing. When they make laws that criminalize ordinary behavior, fuck them. We let that pass too much too as a society.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I'd still say anyone who writes that kind of law, figure out who your legislators are. I mean, right down to the municipal level. Find out all that shit. Get copies of their faces. Get photographs. Because one of the best things you can do is to forbid them services throughout your community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get it. If you find out that the local road commissioner is only making sure that roads get paired in front of local politicians' homes, plaster that fucker's face up with the evidence on boards and everywhere, and spread it through social media. Let your community know who this person is, what they've done, and why it's a good idea to deny them services at any local business.
Shit. Do you remember not too long ago when I want to say, was it the previous mayor from Eric Adams painted Black Lives Matter, and then when people were vandalizing it, he had cops wasting cop resources to protect a fucking painting on the street.
Yep. Again, we got to stop wasting the video on just cute little catch me points. Oh, look, they're a hypocrite. They don't care if you know they're a hypocrite because they're still getting away with shit.
Yes.
And if you think that if you're not a business owner, you have no ability to make a shit happen,
fucking
you let that business owner know, hey, you let this guy in here, we're going to stop coming. We're going to tell everyone else to stop coming because this guy did this thing.
Well, and I'm pretty sure our money is it may not be as equal to his, but once we stop buying from you, you'll have to depend on him.
One of my friends, Jesse, and this is a long time ago.
Did you want his girlfriend?
What?
I got that reference.
Hold on. Assassin says, but words are violence. And then he says, well, Nanny Bloomberg and Comrade Commissar Wilhelm made certain that only districts that voted for them got emergency services during the blizzard in New York.
That's exactly what I mean.
The
people in those districts should be sharing their names and faces and letting business owners know, you see this? This is what happened. This is why if I ever find out you're providing service to this guy, I'm going to work to prevent you from getting customers. You know what? This is actually another great application of the citizen militia too. This is another great way to employ a citizen militia. But you know, because look, the reason I'm coming up with this kind of a strategy is because we're not getting any real justice through the justice system. The police are doing nothing to unfuck themselves. Legislators continue to legislate in a manner that is abhorrent to the Constitution.
2 new chats came in. Sorry about this. Jen T. Maxey. Yo, Jen. I get not wanting to cancel people, but folks are declaring themselves as being dangerous to be around. I'm allowed to avoid crazy people even if it means they go broke, Mitch. That's my new take on it. Assassin says these are the mayors.
Right. You know what? And the mayors can get fucked too.
Yeah.
The regular people have all the power. Because we outnumber everyone, we are the big source of money for local businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And if local businesses want to continue to make money, it's it's in their best interest to satisfy the majority of their customer base,
Well,
and to not fuck them in the ass.
Shit, when you see when your profits margins start going down and you can't make rent because no one's buying from your establishment, I bet you change your tune real fucking quick.
he oh, my friend Jesse, he was a manager of a really shitty gas station
Okay.
in town. And the city was very, very, very big on sending in minors to try buy cigarettes.
Oh yes.
Hold on.
Now,
I don't know why YouTube is deleting your comments, Green. Like it's fucking weird.
It's been doing it to basically him on every channel.
yeah.
I think they're out for your blood, Green. You must have pissed
Maybe.
the ghost decision with Jicky off.
But
Cigarettes, minors,
yeah,
agents.
cigarettes. Yeah, they would send them in, and they had this. He was 17, and I seen him because I used to like hang out with my friend Jesse at the gas station, kind of like clerks, but he this kid was 17, but he already had a mustache, and he looked old. And there isn't a law that says that you have to. There's a law that says you have to check ID if they appear under the age of 21.
Right.
But this guy, I mean,
Looks 50.
well, he looked over 21. They always made sure he was dressed older than what you would think he would be.
Right.
And they would send him in. They'd send him in all the time. And one guy did get popped. He got arrested in the store. And my friend Jesse, kind of a loose cannon, decided, I'm sick of this. I am no longer going to allow Chickasha police officers in my store.
There you go.
Yep.
He put a sign up on the door. He called the owner and he said, I'm going to put this up. And the owner's like, okay. And a city cop actually confronted him. It's like, well, if you get robbed, who are you going to call? And he's like, it's like, I got a gun behind the counter, and if all else fails, I'll just call the sheriff's office. And the cops would sit at the edge of the parking lot, and you know how cops will pull up car to car and talk.
Yeah.
They would deliberately sit in that parking lot because they know that he had this like one-man war against them. He told all of his employees, do not let them in. They are not allowed in. If you see one, tell them they have to leave. But they would sit there. You know what he would do? If they sat there for too long, he would call the sheriff's office and report them for loitering.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, see, it's very similar to. I mean, in addition to denying service, what I would do as a regular practice, because right now, police have learned nothing from watching their own body cams. That as an industry, they continue to be bastards. Well, tyrants and villains, essentially. So what I would do, and you hear them, they'll admit it. 20 years ago, body cams, this guy would have been dead. You have heard them say stuff like that. So okay, you want to play this fucking game, Chucky? Here's the new plan, and you got to post this on your entrances as a business owner. No employee of the state may enter these premises while armed. So if you still want to service the cops, and if you're a restaurant owner, then fine, they can come in and eat, but they can't come in armed.
Mm-hmm.
I made the suggestion that I think we need to go back because Uh, I think I can't remember the exact date. I think it's pre 1929. Pre 19 pre. There's a line there. I'll look it up later.
Hold on,
The
really quickly.
only
Wait a minute.
the,
Wait a minute. I just saw something. Green, did you delete that comment with the burglary CIA? Because I think we honestly just got it. We just caught it in action.
yeah, I don't see it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm seeing stuff on the.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it at all. Like normally when somebody deletes a comment, you can as a mod, I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the message retracted.
Yeah, you can see message retracted. It doesn't show that. It literally just ate both his comments because it came up on my. It came up on. I have the chat coming up on the screen. If you look at it, you can see the chat, and those two chats aren't in that chat log.
I'm gonna try something.
Yep, I can see message retracted when you deleted it. Then why don't?
Okay, Badger deleted something. Okay.
I didn't see. I don't see the. Well, I'm not a mod, so.
But I don't see where it says message retracted off of on the screen though, on the chat. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, Rumble is your friend. That's all I'm gonna say.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can see test pop up on the screen, and when you deleted the first test, it disappeared. And when I'm looking at it through my phone as a mod, I can see message retracted, and I see message retracted, but I don't see where Green Badge did it.
Very weird.
Yeah, it had to be some sort of shadow banning.
But that's my whole point. Is we have all this power, we don't have to rely on the courts or the. This is one of the dumb things. Is why do we constantly rely on government to fix government? Government's not going to fix government because government thinks there's nothing wrong with government.
No, government doesn't investigate government because it's the government doing the government shit.
Right. So we have to do it, and we don't have to break the law or engage in violence to do so. In fact, it's better if we don't because it puts them in the position to make that first move. And when they make that first move, we got them. That means we win.
Wait a minute, let me read the few chats that popped up. Assassin the Great, there's a list of naughty words and phrases. That's why I phrase things weird. Jen says, yeah, YouTube is amping up their algorithm depending on where you are. Genty Maxi again, I think I might be on a watch list functional for joking about being okay with someone leaving duck feed on his lawn. Assassin of the Gray, you card everybody. No exceptions for CYA. Cover your ass. Assassin of the Gray, that is entrapment. Green says, yeah, I deleted it. Green says, what happened if it's some sort of shadow banning? And then he says, I'll type a message. It'll look like it's in chat. Then when I close the chat window, it disappears. And again, it'll pop up on my feed. Like if you look at on my screen, you can see the chat logs. And it'll pop up on chat log because it goes through, and then it'll disappear from YouTube's chat log. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, the funny thing is we like to say, oh, it's broken, or they've updated something.
No, it's just intended.
We like to make excuses, and not just for YouTube, but this is even going back to the all the government shit too, man. We like to make excuses because we want to believe that people aren't this villainous, but the culture that they're wrapped up in government, and it goes, like I said, it goes beyond just the police. It's at its worst with police, I think. Mm-hmm. But the more you explore the different government practices, look at the CPS situation and the family courts. What a fucking scam that is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's practically entry level child trafficking.
Wow. There was a few years back, there was a humongous scandal in Oklahoma because in 1 year, 8 kids died
The fuck?
in 8 kids died in DHS custody.
Yep.
Repeat previous
Yeah.
comment. The fuck?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not even including the cases across the country where the judges in the family court system are friends with the people that they are assigning to be guardians ad litem to children. Anyone who's not familiar with the phrase guardian ad litem, that's someone the court appoints to represent the interests of a minor child in court.
Kickbacks and whatnot.
Yeah, but the court will assign someone to do that, and that someone can then charge the parents a fee. So basically, it's the court mandating that the parents pay money, and it's usually a buddy of the judge in the family court system, and there's a whole big kickback situation going on. And the worse the guardian ad litem makes things look, the longer they get to do the job, the longer they get paid. It's a big fucking scam.
Hold on. Travis. Assassin wants to know American kids or foreign nationals?
These were Americans. They were Americans. They were not these were kids that were. What happened in these cases was they were taken out of homes and they were placed in. There were several group homes that they were placed in the process of waiting for foster homes or getting put in with relatives or something like that. They would take them and put them into group homes, and they died in group home settings.
That's fucking insane.
And
it's monstrous, is what it is.
It was one of the few times that I actually supported the deprivatization, because these homes they would put them in were ran by private companies.
Probably, I don't know if deprivatizing is the way to go. It certainly has to have a degree of oversight, but not to the point where everything's bureaucratically immovable.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Like, I can't remember. This was early 2000s.
Or you know what else? Before taking action, be sure someone's convicted of a crime. But go on. I'm sorry.
And here's the and it was it was a different home, but it was all by the same company. Like, a couple of them were because medications were withheld. One of them was because other kids attacked the kid in the group home.
The fuck?
One of them was because the kid had a severe mental illness, and he kind of lost control of himself, and the people that worked there were not trained in how to properly restrain, and they basically choked him out.
The fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a scandal. A lot of people got fired, and a lot of people did not go to jail.
And it's funny how that works. It's like, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but it's the same way with cops. When they get caught, they'll get fired, but they'll never go to jail, and they'll never have their certification removed. And I mean, they do sometimes, but it's almost like they're throwing a bone when that happens. But go on.
My friend, his mom worked for didn't work for DHS, worked for Juvenile Justice, and when she'd find out that kids were going to certain homes, she's like, there was sometimes I cried when I found out, because I knew what that kid was going into, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Right.
But then she also told me the joke, what's the difference between OK DHS and a pit bull?
What?
You're more likely to get most of your kid back from the pit bull.
Damn.
Ooh.
But the houses have been put under state supervision now, and I haven't heard any of the horrific cases, which doesn't mean they're not happening.
I guarantee they are.
I'm sure that there's pretty horrific things still happening. I just don't hear them. Which, one of the things I would like to do, if President Gardner takes an effect, or Governor Gardner, I want to set up an independent part of not part of any other agency, one independent agency whose entire job is to go into other agencies and make sure they're doing their job properly.
Basically, an internal affairs of sorts.
I want internal. I want it to be. You're right. I want it to go much further than that.
Well, yeah, I have an idea for that actually. I've recently started advocating that a police department should not investigate themselves. When an investigation is deemed necessary, it should be handled by civil rights auditors, because those people know the fucking law. And while they should be contracted to conduct the investigation, and while they're under contract, they get paid. And anyone who obstructs that investigation is fucked by law, whether they're subject of the investigation or not. If they obstruct it, if they what's another word they use there?
Is it just like my fucking internet's gone completely retarded?
What? What's wrong?
Yep, I think so.
What?
What's gone retarded?
You there, Rodden?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
I guess, okay. All right, I guess, yeah, he popped out. See if he's going to pop in.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, in the case, I think civil rights auditors are the best people to do these investigations.
Right, you there?
Rotten?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's been going on with Discord, and like he's giving me this whole thing of like, oh, your internet for that's bad, and it's like, no, it's the fuck not.
Because Discord has a herpy.
It does. It has a herp.
So I had to exit out fully.
Right.
Which is weird because when I came in and before I'd even jumped on here, it's like I had turned my fucking computer on.
Gentlemen, I'm getting a little sleepy, so I'm going to close up shop.
Okay.
Great conversation. Don't get me wrong. I would love to continue this, but got work in the AM. So.
Oh yes.
There's a time and a place, and right now it's not that time.
Nope.
It's that place, but not that time.
Parting words. Final thoughts.
Assassin writes, civil rights activists knowing the law is highly questionable. They know how to scam the law. Maybe, but from what I've seen from civil rights auditors, I'm not saying they shouldn't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Validated? No, that's not it. It's,
well, you're also saying auditors, not activists.
Right. Exactly.
They're close. They're close, but they are a little different.
They are. I mean, I'm talking about people who know their shit. We do need to make sure they know their shit.
Yes, Tyr needs to get his nappy nap.
But anyway, final word. Though you may, I forget the expression. I'll get to it later. Something my grandfather told me. Though you may seek to argue at the time of your death, That's as far as he got.
Rotten.
If you can own guns, you should own guns. If you feel that you don't have the money to afford them, I highly recommend looking at something like Palmetto State Armory. They have sales going fucking constantly. If you are an American citizen who can legally own them and you're of age, there's no fucking reason not to own them.
Travis.
Well, I want to extend on that. A cheap gun is better than no gun.
Well, I recommend Palmetto State Armory because for their pistols, they're all Glock clones, and getting Glock parts and working on Glock parts or Glock clones is super simple as all hell. Like the SCCY pistols haven't been doing so hot. Like, yeah, you can buy a high point, and it's gonna work. But it's going to be a chunky boy. Like, you're quite literally going to watch the slide reciprocate it first.
All right.
And I know that from experience.
Though a man anoint himself in fragrant, he may still end up with a broken face.
Good one. I guess mine would be best words from Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure. Was it Excellent Adventure? Be excellent to each other.
I just had one come to mind. I don't know why.
Go ahead.
When in doubt, pull out.
No one with anything to feel guilty about smiles at the back end of an elephant.
All right, thank you guys. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the zoo is closed. Have a good night, all. Stop
Shake it naked.
I